Cause I'm a real tough kid. I can handle my shit. They said fake it, gotta fake it till you make it, and I did.
I'm just a terrible person, I guess.
Lights, camera, bitch. Even when you wanna die. Breaking down, I hit the floor. All the pieces of me shattered as the crowd was chanting more. With a broken heart.
Who's afraid of a little old me?
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am Sara the Raging Tomato. If somebody can just confirm that they can hear me in the chat, that would be ever so lovely. But outside of that, welcome to Throwdown Thursday. You know it. You love it. You're ready for it. You like it. Oh, I hate that Discord interrupts me on here. Gets on my nerves. Anyways, how are you doing tonight? Are you all doing well? I am. I threw my back out the other day. That was fun. Stretching, of all things. Stretching. Not lifting weights, not going for a run. Stretching. Gone. Gone. My poor little back. So, I have my ice pack. I'm going to put it back there so I can stay nice and relaxed. There. Okay, we're good. Anyways, tonight I wanted to do something a little bit different. I want to do a grab bag topic because we've annihilated the politics. We've annihilated the manosphere, gender topics, all of those things. And I'm just kind of over it tonight. So I want to hear from you. What I'm going to do is I want everybody that is in the chat right now to go ahead and start listing topics you'd like to hear tonight. Something that anyone can relate to, right? I have some topics already listed from our members only in our community tab and also from our Discord server. So if you're not in either one of those, get there. Yes, I might become a hurricane. This is my stepsister messaged me. She's like, so there's a hurricane coming through and it's named after you. Same spelling and all. But yeah, so here's the topics so far that have come about, and this will give you kind of an idea of what we're looking for, all right? But yes, give me all the topics you want, whether it's debatable, relatable, fun. It can be, an ethical. I love ethical questions. So if Lindsay's around, somebody go call Lindsay. I'd love to bring her back up and get some more of her ethical questions. So far on the list is 80s horror film versus modern horror film. That comes in from P. Fletch. Veganism. Is there an ethical standpoint to that? That comes in from Naomi. Also from Naomi. Now, she did hers a little different, so I shook it up a little bit. But I took a question that she asked towards veganism, but I applied it differently. I want to know, what does your utopia look like? What does it look like? Should hate speech be punishable by law? And if so, what should the punishment be? That also comes in from Naomi. Furby versus flow state. The issues around that. That comes in from Ethan Bills. I kind of can't wait to talk about that dynamic because those two and their little quarrel that they have cracks me up because flow state cannot stand Furby, and I feel like Furby just loves to piss off flow state. Should men help women with women's work? That comes in from Joe Mobley. I believe he's live streaming right now, so if he does pop in later, I'd love to hand that one over when he's there, if he pops in. Best metal bands from 1975 to now. That also comes in from P. Fletch. We also gave him a music Discord channel on the Discord server. So if you want to talk music, join join the Discord server. We have Tomatoes and Beets, spelled Beets. You like it, don't you? Yeah, so if you want to talk music, P. Fletch is the one to go to. He's got his own channel on the server, Discord server. So you better hit that little button when it comes about, when Nightbot drops it. Hit it. If Spicoli found a fursuit, what would happen next? Okay, that's another question to the panel that we're going to be asking. All right, so what I want to do is keep dropping in all of your topics for the evening. I'm going to star them. Your special treatment because you're the first ones here. I'll do this all the way up until the 10-minute mark. Those who are here within the first 10 minutes, your topics get pulled up tonight on like before anything else. Okay. Well, this list goes first, obviously, because these people are special. They're in the server. They're loyal. They're members. They deserve to have theirs first. So outside of that, how are you? All of you. Has it been a fun week? I feel like it's been a busy couple weeks with the election and everything. And I feel like finally we can all breathe. We all know what's going on now and we know what to expect. And now the discussion is like moving forward, right? So that we can breathe. Woosah. Woosah. Let's see who's all in here tonight. P. Fletch coming in first off the bat. He asked the Beasts of Bray Road. Werewolf, Dogman, or Spicoli finds a fursuit. Yes, and don't forget to hit the like button, share, do your job, donate too. Memberships are also incredibly, incredibly helpful. I like to call that the recurring tomato supporters, right? You're constantly it's recurring, right? It's something that we can kind of depend on because it's just always going to be there month after month, and we love it. It's great. And if you do get a membership, I'm kicking off a new series just for you. Fridays at noon Eastern Standard Time, by the way. So come have lunch with me. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to sit here, have some lunch, chit chat for about an hour. That's about all I can give on a Friday afternoon, just because I do have other things to tend to. But chit chat for a full hour, ask me anything, whatever. I don't know if I'll open the panel, but in any event, it will be members only all the way around to view, to chat, all of the above. So memberships, there is a new added bonus to that. Hit it up when you can. And yes, post a tomato as you join in. Let's just light up the chat with tomatoes, please. Can we do that? I want tomatoes all around. I'm just feeling extra tomatoey today. I even put a little color on my lips just for you. Naomi, hello, my darling. Hitting the tomatoes right off the bat. I love it. Paige as well. How are you, Paige? Michael Horsley. So Horsley. Horsley. Hello, Michael. Jeff Bader, welcome back, my darling. Holly Dolly, hello, tomatoes. James Farley. Hello, James. Tony D, you look new. Where did you come from? Loud and clear. Yes, thank you for that. When I don't have anybody backstage with me before the show starts, I'm like, I hope it works. Hi, Sparky. Welcome back, my friend. And yes, we can talk about the hurricane too, or hurricanes, whatever the case. I'm going to star that one for later, just in case. Harleys versus Hondas. Okay, so motorcycle. Got it. Is it okay to spank your kids? Ooh, I like this one. Some kids don't get spanked enough, and it shows. Okay? It shows. Absolutely shows. And yes, Nightbot, hit up with the links. Let me make sure. I had to change them up, so I just want to make sure that they're working. Yep, that one works. I did add in Twitch as well. I just did that today. So if Twitch is your preferred method, Mod Monday and Throwdown Thursdays will feature over there live as well. I also do have a Spotify. So if you prefer to listen to Spotify after the fact, right? That's okay as well. Everything gets uploaded over there, not necessarily the same day, okay, but it is filling up. I did take a lot of time to go and add all of those videos in, and that again is only Mod Monday and Throwdown Thursdays. Sip and streams and anything else is behind a membership paywall, whether it's here or on Patreon. So just so you know, Patreon, it's the same dollar amount over there for access to all the membership videos. So if Patreon is your preferred method of viewing, please feel free to head that direction as well. That should be showing up in another Nightbot thing somewhere. And of course, the Discord link is in here. I'm pretty active in my Discord, more active than I planned to be. As long as you tag me, I'll be responsive. If I'm not, in the middle of crazy things. Who's taking what supplements? All right, we'll add that to the question. Oh, she was? Oh, somebody go find Lindsay. Tell her to get over here. Tell her it's open hot topic tonight. We want her. Ugh, the Furby. We like the Furby. We like the Furby because we don't like the Furby, right? And it's a nice kind of love-hate relationship because the Furby does bring the heat. Keeps the show moving, keeps the tension flowing plentifully. And if flows here, it gets even crazier, and we like it. Best Olivia Newton-John song. Xanadu, Xanadu. That one. Hands down. No argument there. So maybe we'll get some vinyl community people up here since we have a lot of music topics coming abroad. I like it. Could there have ever been nothing? All right. That's a good question. We kind of tackled that the other day a little bit in terms of it was so late at night. I fell asleep on that stream. But we tackled it on the last Mod Monday when it had to switch over to the Rumble because YouTube completely went crazy. But yeah, it's we went into the concept of God and is it cyclical, and some things in Revelations that were Demolition definitely had some good talking points. It was a great conversation. The Raging Tomato ethical question. Dr. Peter Vencom, a hero or a class 1 perv? I have no idea who that is. I'll star it anyways, and maybe somebody on panel will. She's better now. I love Naomi. And listen, if you want to see, we have a channel just for Naomi as well in the Discord because she loves to post all of her horse pictures and videos, and even the kittens. She has kids. So yeah, get over in the Discord. It's where it's at. Naomi's running the barnyard over there. P. Fletch is running the tomato and beets. And yeah, I hope you guys make it in. The election has been determined and now we can rebuild. Do you like turkey or ham? Best? All right, that's a good question to the panel. We will ask it. Chuck Norris attended his first feminist rally last week, came home with his shirt ironed and a sandwich. That was good. Oh, that was good. I'm dead. Look, Naomi liked it too. Oh, P. Fletch liked it as well. Where all the white women at? I'll star it. We'll ask that question later. You can tell me. Here comes all the tomatoes. I love it when you guys drop the tomatoes. Roman King, what up? Maters. A strawberry. Do schnozberries taste like schnozberries? Wrong fruit. Wrong fruit. Elegance, grace, and wit. Oh, me? Wow. Thank you. I always viewed myself to be more of a Tom girl, but I know when to just jazz it up and go to the nines and pinkies up and stuff. I was trained well. I was trained well. I know when you got to put on that face. The Killshot Report says, hey, Mater in chat. Hello to you, Killshot Report. Yes, it's okay to spank your kids. End of story. Very nice. All right, let's see. Any other question? Are we social media free press? And the new question, are we social media free press, the new press? Therefore, top 6 mainstream gone soon. Top 6, rewrite that. Top 6 oh, you mean like Fox, CNN, all of that stuff? That makes sense. Okay. All right. I got it. Hello, Margot. I mean, Raging Tomato. See, I never thought I looked like her until I started using like the reface to replace her face with my face. And then there wasn't much of a change. And I was like, oh, that is kind of weird. Okay. It's fair. But I don't know. I never saw it that way. She's significantly taller and more beautiful. Oh, let's see. Minus the love. Let's see. Have you ever sang a heavy metal song before? Does Chop Suey count? Does Chop Suey count? I'll add that to the list. Let's see. Who else? A glitter bomb? Ooh, a glitter bomb would be fun. Now we're talking good ideas. I too am a tomboy. It's just, I know, right? The mud is way more fun to play in. My daughter's completely opposite. She's like, makeup, nails, fancy, looking good, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, I walked out the door. And we're just going to roll with it. Who shot it says, topic, why are the majority of men's hobbies red flags to women? Example, hunting, gaming, gym. I don't think that's a red flag, but we'll go with it. Maybe some other ladies feel differently. You have a voice for a radio and a face for car. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, listen, just turn the screen off, right? And just listen. Delilah. What is the best thing to grow at home and why is it tomatoes? Starring. I'll add that one to the list. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Topics. 1, conservataria. 2, cults, ortho bros. 3, wasted votes, USA, Uni Party. Pick your poison. I don't want to talk politics. But I'll start anyways. All right. Did I get everything? Nope. Why do women love true crime? They don't love it. They're just taking notes. Oh, I'm done with the internet. That was good. Oh, that was good. I like it. Oh, I-Fi. Why? Yeah, we star in it. Okay, I know you guys, I realize you actually can't see my end. And every time I say we're starring it, because there's a little star on my end. And what that does is it puts it in a separate tab on the chat. And on that chat is everything that I want to be able to come back to later. And it puts a star in it so that this way I can just go, here's the ideas. Just like that. And they're all right here. I don't have to scroll back up or anything. I love it. It's organized. It's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, no politics. I'll star it. We could talk about the Ortho Bros thing. I don't know what conservataria is, but whatever. But I don't really want to get into politics. Everybody's doing politics. We already did politics. L, progressives for confusing all the cute tomboys in the world and turning them into Klondike. Stop it. Well, it was lo-fi before the Wi-Fi. Yeah, we'll do guests here in just a little bit. We're gonna, I'll open the panel up here shortly. But I just kind of want to talk to the chat a little bit. You guys are making me laugh, and then I'll open it up. You guys are setting the pace for tonight. Spiders, scary or friends? I love spiders. Now, am I afraid of them? Yes, but I don't like to kill them because I know that they keep all of the other stuff out. So, spiders are your friends, but they're just scary friends. Yeah. We could talk about why flow state can't ever learn the difference between ethics and morality for the billionth time. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, hey, Grid. We're going to open the panel up here in just a few minutes if you want to pop on. We've got the chat is coming up with the topics of the evening. They've been giving several wonderful ideas. So it's a grab bag special, and we'll run through each topic significantly quicker, right? Obviously, we're not going to spend all night on each topic, but we'll get through. It'll be fun. So go do your face, fix your hair, get behind your microphone. Let's go. What are you making for Thanksgiving? Nothing. It's probably going to be like gas station sandwiches because the lovely Bratty Tomato has a big tournament that weekend. Whoever decided to make that tournament a tournament, I would like to have some words with them. But we have to leave Thanksgiving afternoon to get to the tournament that's significantly far away. And so, yeah, it'll be like gas station sandwiches or Chinese food. So I'm making nothing. But good news, guys. Don't tell the kids. But Mama Tomato is coming to visit to surprise the kiddos, the little maters. So she will be here. I pick her up Wednesday. I'm excited. She's flying out to come see the kiddos. It'll be fun, but it's a surprise. I'm a boring tomato. Well, I'm sure I think there's someone named Lemon. If I remember correctly, there's a guy named Lemon. So if I'm not the fruit for you, there might also be an orange somewhere out there, strawberry, cherry. There's plenty of people out there. But yeah, if you think I'm boring, then I'm probably not the one for you, you know? Don't whisper. Don't do that anymore. Stop it. My eyes are green. They are very, very green. Like, I don't know, just green. Like an emeraldy green. Foresty emeraldy. The cross between the two. Oh no. Oh no. They can't take it anymore. Why songs that tell stories are better? I agree. Let's get into that one. Shine My Seashell. No. Best holiday, July 4th, Christmas, New Year's. Ooh, best holiday. I like that one. Declaration of Idiocracy. Snake eyes. No, we can't. We can't. It's gonna be a pretty busy, crazy week already. Mama Tomato offered to make some stuff, but the timing is kind of rough, and I don't want to like leave a house with leftover food. But yes, yeah, like a Yankee tournament. It's a tournament. Hello, Rachel. We're opening the panel up here in just a little bit. It's a grab bag topic night. Lots of different topics. The chat has been dropping in. If you're bored and feel like popping on, we'll be having some fun. For Hormax? Oh yeah, of course I will. I will drop it here in just a minute. Grid's gonna come up. How far back am I in the chat? 43. Oh no, I'm only a minute behind. The name came from Hormaxer. He said, you're red like a tomato. You're a fucking raging tomato. Only boring tomato for me. All right. You guys ready for it? Let's do it. Open panel dumpster fire. There you go. All right, it's out. Everybody's got it now. Oh, an early night for Rachel. Get some sleep. Tell Sue we love her. Give her a big hug. Spin message. There we go. It is done. All right, Matt. I hope you're happy. The panel's open now. Here we go. The question is like, who's going to show? It's like best topic. Why is drama the YouTube streamer's drug of choice? Ooh. Yes. Added it to the list. Well, if you pop up, we'll make sure we do that one when you're on. Open it. I'll debate you on any topic. It's open, dude. The link's pinned. Do you not know how this works? Come on. Get with the program. Get with the program. I dropped the link. It is now pinned. Yeah, it's pinned. Our first victim, of course. All right, chat. Who do you think is behind door 1? You let me know who. Who do you think the first victim is? Behind door 1. I'll give you a second to respond. Taking bets. Who do you think is back there? That's a good point, Mike. That's actually a really good point. A really good point. We literally, Matt, we're getting topics from the entire chat and going through them. And not only that, I don't debate. I just host debates over here. All right, who's back there? Who's back there? Does anybody have any guess on who's backstage? No guesses. Hey, Big Pond. No, you all suck. Nope, it's not neither of those two. Nope, not the Furby. Come on. If somebody guesses correctly, I'll bring them up. Nope, not Spicoli, but that's a good guess because he usually is the first one to jump in here. Nope, it's not Ghosty or Rachel's ghost. But hi, Piccolina. Can you give Piccolina some little cat's belly scratches for me? It's not Hormaxer. It's not Torshaa. They are in the chat. I'll give you that. They are in the chat. It's not Grid. It's not Chaotic Truth. He wouldn't be the first. You'd see him in here. He'd say Link and then disappear. It's not Rachel. It's not Matt. Who's back there? They're in the chat. They're in the chat. It's not Naomi. It's not Andrew. He's not in the chat. It's not P. Fletch. They are a panelist. It's not Flo. He's not in the chat. Come on, guys. Look at the chat. You've all skipped this person. There we go. Amen to Jess. Hi, I-Fi.
Me and my one viewer. We're ready.
Your one viewer is you.
I can always count on Jess, my one viewer.
No, oh, we love Jess. She's always so sweet.
If we can't talk about politics, that eliminates like 99% of the topics.
Wait, if you take, well, yeah, no, it does not. We could talk about so many things that don't revolve around politics. Like,
Okay.
I-Fi, what makes you want to be a streamer?
Money and fame and the groupies.
Do you make money off of it?
Tons. I'm not even monetized yet, so I
Do
don't
you really?
make anything.
All
Me
right,
and my
what's that?
100 subs, yeah, we make lots of money.
That's fair. Hold on, I got Matt backstage. Matt, can you just voice confirm?
Oh, Matt wants a debate, so
Matt Robbins?
bring him up.
Bring him up. You gotta unmute, baby doll.
We got to make sure you're not a prawn bomber.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a prawn bomber.
You're not?
I am.
Wave on
Oh.
camera.
Oh, you
for the
are?
sweet little lady.
Are you gonna show things?
What do you want to see?
Well, we
No
don't
naughty
want,
stuff.
we don't want to see any of your body parts.
Yeah, it
That's
includes my face. Thanks.
Well, you're on an avatar, so I'd assume you don't want to show your face. Do you want to show your face?
Not in public, no.
No? Well, that's okay. We're totally okay with that. I just need to make sure you're not going to try to
thank
show
God.
something later. Like other things. Like your
No,
pee-pee.
only in private.
Well, okay, that's fair. Should those ladies be disappointed or excited?
What?
With those
About what?
would those ladies that you're doing this private screening for be disappointed or excited?
You just made up some story in your own fucking mind that I didn't.
Well, you said you only do those things in private. I'm thinking like you got like a private call with a lady.
I'm going to go with excited. He's very mysterious.
You said I had multiple ladies.
Well, I'm presuming you're a ladies' man. Do you only have one lady?
Lindsay's already excited. That's enough.
You're a horny potato. Or tomato. Excuse me.
I'll go with potato. I will officially be the potato of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I am changing my name right now. Edit.
She's the horny potato.
Horny potato. I like it.
So what are we debating, Matt? You get to pick the topic and whether I'm for it or against it.
I want to debate the horny potato.
She doesn't debate. She won't debate anything.
So what do you want to debate about?
Any topic. Or you lose by default and I win.
Have you ever debated a centrist? A moderate centrist?
Are you talking about sexuality?
No, I'm talking about in all of life. Sara is the most moderate centrist of all life. She doesn't take a side for anything.
She's asexual.
You can't debate her.
Apolitical. Pizza.
You want to talk about pizza?
No.
I will debate.
Well, we're not allowed to talk about politics because I wanted to talk about Trump and Harris, but I guess that ship has sailed.
Can we talk about how Grid 1 looks like Indiana Jones in 2024? All right, Mike. Matt, you get one topic, and I'll give you 10 minutes. Go.
I don't care what topic, any topic. It's fine.
Well, you're the
one.
Does
it have something to do with trees?
I'm for him.
Maybe
Are
Bob
you against
Ross.
him?
Bob Ross?
I have 42 acres. Can you beat that? I have 42 acres of trees.
No, I have less.
All right, then I'm the king. All hail Emperor Phi. Next topic.
King Steven, can you just voice confirm for me?
Hello.
Hello, and you're not going to show us.
I think he's a regular YouTuber. I've heard that name before.
I'm not going to show you what? My what?
Your peen or anything, right?
No.
You've
Your
been
giant brain.
I'm pretty sure he's been
I'm
before.
taken. I'm sorry, I can't.
Aw, congratulations! I'm glad. See, I like guys that come on here that are not single because they usually aren't trying to, show me things and do weird stuff. All right, Matt.
Yep. Okay, Matt, we only got 10 minutes, so convince me that Trump is not a left-wing Democrat. Go.
I think he's basically a left-wing Democrat.
Did Donald Trump hit your... Hey, all you Trump morons. Did you get your Cash App hit by Donald Trump? He didn't hit my Cash App. How has your life changed? The answer is it hasn't. I'm sure the guy flying the Old Glory, God bless it, every which way, he's equally delusional. He likes to live in fantasy land, like Sara, like her big Thanksgiving feast with the Mama Tomato. Well, why don't you have Thanksgiving or Christmas at the swing club?
Because I'll have my daughter.
Take Canadian healthcare.
Yeah. We'll be going to a tournament and stuff. It's a sports mom week.
Oh,
yeah,
nice
yeah. So I don't think that would be very appropriate.
Sudden disco party.
To who? The guy with the flag?
To my daughter.
Probably thinks it's deranged. He probably thinks he's probably all about Americana. He thinks that he lives a delusional life. Like you do, Sara. I think you live in a delusional Hallmark fantasy.
I'm okay. Well, actually, I hate Hallmark. I despise Hallmark. Absolutely hate it. with every breath I take. Yes, it's too fantasy oriented. Like, oh, I lost my job and have to move back home to this beautiful Colorado hometown. And oh, there happens to be this glorious man driving a truck by me as my car breaks down on the side of the road. And oh, and he's absolutely gorgeous too. And oh, he's single. And oh, he's looking for a wife. And oh, he happens to know my mama.
But that sounds like how you like to think. You like to
No,
go.
that is not me at all. Sorry.
All right.
Did this stream just turn into a romance novel?
Oh. All right. All right. Since Matt didn't come up with anything, 80s horror film versus modern horror film. Go.
80s.
Grid 1.
80s.
The 80s horror film is much
80s.
Grid, are you muted or something? Oh, yeah. You're not coming through. I'll give you a second. Everybody likes the... Okay. What was your favorite 80s horror flick?
favorite. Wow. I liked a lot of them. Favorite one.
Amityville 2: The Possession.
That's a weird choice.
It's the best choice.
I remember that movie.
Can you name one better?
Poltergeist.
Oh, come into the light.
Poltergeist had better funding, but the story was meh.
I can name some obscure one that were horrifying as a kid called Curtains.
Curtains?
Yeah,
Curtains.
That's
Yeah.
a movie?
Yeah.
Let's see. They're
That's
saying
the grandmother's house. That's not a horror movie.
They're saying aliens.
And before you say
Poltergeist.
Exorcist, I think Exorcist 3 was actually better than 1, but that's just me.
Hellraiser.
Anson Knoll says Pretty in Pink.
That's not a horror movie.
Hellraiser. I like the
Arachnophobia.
Hellraiser.
Aliens.
Arachnophobia, wasn't that like 90s?
Hellraiser, Blob. Killer Clown from Outer Space.
That was funny. That wasn't really a horror movie.
Oh, that's fair.
Unless you're scared of clowns.
I don't know. Grid, are you working over there yet? Okay. Take your time. No worries.
I mean, like, a lot of the classics were good when they came
Oh,
out. Like, Nightmare on
Creepo.
Elm Street was pretty awesome when it came out. It died
Yeah.
out pretty fast.
Yeah.
I almost said that.
Halloween was awesome.
Yeah.
I like the third one. The third one.
The third one.
Yeah.
Snakes on a plane.
I don't even remember the third one. What happened in the third one?
The third one was the one without Michael Myers in it.
Oh, is that one with the masks and their like
Yeah.
brains melted when they watched
What?
TV or something?
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
saw that.
Fires in Brooklyn.
That was pretty weird, dude.
Lindsay, I am starring all of your topics that you're dropping in. I'm putting them to the side. I got them. Thank you. You're my favorite.
Sarah,
I was
you-
never
you
a
did the
Friday
horror
the
movie?
13th fan, though. That one was pretty lame.
Yeah.
I did have a question for you, Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you had your panel of those life-denying women on, which is most of all of you,
Oh, the ladies' night?
yeah, ladies' night, is that, you had one that wasn't exactly, and comes from a man that goes with trans women, by the way, so you cannot say anything to me, is that you had one that was not a woman.
I
Now,
stand by it.
What the hell is that person doing talking about raising children when she's a chick with a dick?
Well,
Oh.
hold up.
Could've been children
I
if you had a
appreciate your observation, Hormaxer, but
Damn good one, I think.
my interactions with Neve have always been on a very female to female type of relationship, right? I wouldn't talk to men the same way I talk to Neve. I treat her the like as a female. I look at her as a female. That's just how I've always interacted with her. And so this was my panel of ladies' night, my way. And if anybody doesn't like it, well, they're
Okay, well, no,
There's
and say one more
plenty of
question for you, Sarah. Just one, because you had another one on, and I think you women have a lot of problems, obviously. And
Oh, we did.
She is a woman.
you had another woman called Star Nova on.
Oh, we
Now-
love Star.
Yeah, now here's my problem. You tell me if you agree with this. Her channel is called School of Tohot. Not Tohought, but that form of thought, meaning that hoe over there. Now, I would like to ask her, but she dodges me, if she is a hoe or a whore, which she calls herself, her admission, not mine. Why doesn't she drain balls?
How do you know if she does or not?
Yeah, I mean that would be interfering.
I
Like
thought
you're going into her personal life now, and I don't demand anybody put.
No,
their
that
personal
is a
life out there.
public name.
Well, it's a play on words, obviously.
A play on words. Have you seen
She's
her?
she's a preacher's daughter. It's a play on words based because of the manosphere, and I get it. I understand it. I don't think she's promoting whorism or sluttiness or anything like that. Except for her
Whorism?
boobs.
Is that a word?
It is now.
Sarah,
Yes,
why
darling.
why do you feel the need to have a religious dictator in the sky guide your life, like Christopher Hitchens said, like a Kim Jong-un in the sky, a North Korean dictator, in your case, a Catholic one? Why do you feel the need for that?
May I ask you something? Why do you feel the need to have your balls dictate your life?
Because I like sex and you don't, and maybe you should get on
Wrong
board.
pipe.
Can I ask
Okay,
you a
great.
quick question? Where's
Yeah.
Max Stream's caretaker?
Yeah,
What?
they shouldn't be letting you on stream right now. You're clearly not capable.
Where's your caretaker, bro?
Why do I need a caretaker?
I just assumed you had one.
Arrested
What do you mean
Development.
by its caretaker? Are you talking about Neve? Who are you talking about?
It should be.
The Hormaxer. He's asking who let Hormaxer out of his cage. Someone let me out of my cage.
So he does have
Well,
a cage.
obviously, you have problems with a good logical questions. Every question I asked was logical. You seem to have a problem with that, so I would ask, who needs a caretaker?
Well, the problem is you're impeding. Grid, are you frozen?
You do
Okay,
have a
here we go.
caretaker,
You're gonna have
bro.
to drop down.
You do.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll answer your question, Max. So I identify as an Apache attack helicopter, so I win all internet debates. So there's the answer to your question.
I identify as a superior attack helicopter, so I
Too late.
beat you every time.
I'm
No.
sorry. I'm a gay, black, Muslim, trans woman, so I've won all internet debates. You cannot
I'm
debate
too
me.
gay,
Well,
black,
I'm the
Muslim,
Alpha
women, so
Omega.
I'll beat you every time.
Identify identify as the Alpha Omega, so you're both wrong.
Well, the thing
Also,
of it
Max,
is-
it's her channel. Was the answer to your question? That's why she did it.
Well, I understand that.
Hold on, but the point of the matter is you're asking questions about, like, your question about school of thought, right? You're
Yes.
impeding on her personal life, right?
No.
And I'm because you're asking if she's a sleut, just because her channel's name is School of Thought. And if you got to know her channel and you got to know her, you'd understand it was for a play on words. She was being kind of facetious when she made the channel name. I absolutely love it. You asked about Neve. I did give you a logical answer based on my interactions with her. That's
Yeah.
logical. You asked a question, I gave you an answer. Nothing has been dodged. You just aren't getting the answer that you want. That's
Well,
why
how
you're
about
saying
your
I'm
North
dodging.
Korean dictator in the sky?
What's the North Korean dictator in the
There's
sky?
a God that's watching your every move and hears your every prayer and knows your every move.
My
Don't you
God?
think- Yeah, isn't that a little odd that somebody, isn't that kind of like a voyeur?
No, that's
weird?
you know how reassuring that is, knowing that I have a greater purpose because I have God in my life and he ensures a lot of things for me. He's looked out for me in so many more ways than I can count.
Really?
Yeah, and I am totally okay with devoting my entire life to the man in the sky.
Also, do you feel better worshiping your God Athey there, Max, or which God is better?
I worship myself.
Yeah, your God is called Athey. You're an atheist. So, is your God better than hers?
I just don't believe there's any type of God to hear a form of prayer. I think religion is a disgusting slave morality. It has brought death. Look at the Middle East, for instance. It is inhumane.
Blah 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 blah.
Like
blah,
neo-atheism. That's one of the worst religions.
You are in need of really help. Okay, you need a constant supervisor in the sky, or you can't handle yourself. That I find frightening.
Why can't we have both?
I do need a supervisor in the sky. I'm my own supervisor in the sky, dude. You're fucking retarded.
I find it
I'm my own supervisor in the sky. I'm my own supervisor in the sky.
But it also it also keeps you accountable to something. If we all just run around and we're not accountable to anything but ourselves,
to yourself. No, it means to yourself.
Because people who are accountable to themselves still suck at it, right? You have to be accountable to something. You have to own up to something.
You have no
right?
respect. I don't think, Sarah, you have any respect for the human intellect. For you to think that you need some like a Newton or an Einstein, how dare you sit here and talk?
Aren't you glad we're not talking about politics?
Yeah, so glad.
This guy's just jerking himself off.
Well, you would probably need a daddy Trump, but here's the problem: Trump people. You get nothing.
By the way, Max, I'm gonna have to white knight for Milady. You will not disparage Fitz McGee while I'm on panel, so you can't say anything negative about her while I'm president.
The guy with the American flag, he seems very patriotic. I'd like to know about how much freedom of speech, my friend, you have in this country when your social sphere is YouTube that has a TOS of 1,000 pages. Now, Mr. Patriotic, you
take away your free speech.
You don't have so much to say
1,000
about
pages.
with the Houthis, a 7th century throwback group that puts missiles up the ass of a U.S. carrier, and they sit there and take it up the yin yang. What are you patriotic for? You don't got no freedom of speech. You're a fool. You're a big time fool.
You're a spaz that just strings a bunch of words together that don't mean anything.
You're just a fool. You're probably another religious fool that wants to control women. You're just.
Can we vote to take his free speech away,
I'm not big on religion either. But Hormaxer, when you tell religious people they need treatment, well, you clearly have porn addiction that you need to be in rehab for. I'm just saying it's a little ironic.
I don't have a porn addiction, and that's projection on your part. Porn addiction for somebody that I can't function. Well, see, that's projection on your part, showing you not a smart person.
You could have fooled. Well, then how come you could have fooled me? Then how come you could have fooled me? If you would have said you had a porn addiction, I would have been like, that makes sense.
Because you're a stupid person.
No, it's because you give off the vibes of a porn addict. It's called your behavior. Do you understand behavior?
Talked about porn. Yeah, I've only talked about porn when I make
prawn.
Or adult content when I make it. Okay.
You've only talked about it every single time I've seen you on stream.
Well, what do you have to offer? What are you gonna talk about? The family relationships? Why are you talking about them?
No, I'm just saying, like, you can't be telling people to go to treatment when you should clearly be in rehab right now.
Fanatical religious people should be in treatment.
They told me to go to rehab. I said no.
What do we think about veganism?
They're lame. I think we should eat all the vegans. Carnivores unite.
Stringy.
There's really no excuse to eat meat anymore unless you're poor. So
how do you have a BLT sandwich if you're a vegan? How do you do that?
If we learn nothing else from nature, nature has taught us that carnivores eat vegans. We should learn from nature and do what it tells us.
So right now there's actually a really delicious, and you probably couldn't tell the difference if you tried, because I've tried it and I can't. There's an alternative bacon that's made out of
Do you ever see lions and deer like arguing politics or anything like that, or about like women and men's problems?
Wait, sorry, are you arguing that we should go back to monkey?
Hold that thought. Let me just confirm. Is that you? Oh, face, is that you?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, I see you. Gotcha.
Return implies some of this panel has left monkey.
What did you say about
I would
monkey?
Suggest most of them are still in the monkey stage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Here we are debating politics.
I don't want to eat a monkey.
No, we're not allowed to talk about politics. Sarah said no.
Like we were just listening to.
Technically, vegan is politics because there's policies that could be proposed and stuff like that. And
That's what I
we need
told
to
her. I
talk
said
about.
everything's politics.
No.
You can't get away from politics.
We're not going to start on the foot of politics. Let's say that. Okay.
Even religion will get into politics. Just give it time. You'll see.
Veganism is Karenism. It's Karening. That's what I think it is.
Vegans, carnivores unite.
Well, if you were a cow, would you want to be eaten?
This one up there talking
A
about
female
spazzing out
cow?
on stream. You seem like a stream parasite, and you would probably just sit there, except maybe because you hit her super chat, because you sit there like a lump on the log. 'Cause
Who?
You're a nut.
Psychobabble.
Nut. So are the rest of these people.
I think
who
he's
are you
referring to
yelling
me.
at?
I think he's referring to me, which is extra ironic because I think he just sat there looking in chat, waiting for someone to
I'm
give him an
referring
idea
to
of something to
guy-
say.
I'm referring to the guy next to you.
Oh, me?
Grit?
He's talks about
He has his
spaz-
own stream.
No, he talks about
Grit has
I asked-
contributed a lot to these panels. by the way, he shows up.
There's
He
just no
found the
point
Ark
in
of the
trying to have a
Covenant, man. Give him a
conversation
break.
while
Probably an Andrew
he's
Wilson
he's
fan.
probably
I guess
low on
you are-
testosterone right now. He didn't get his injection today, so I'm just letting him crash out. Just gonna let him crash.
Probably an Andrew Wilson fan, and how about
Poor Maxer,
Rift
how is
artists?
someone who has their own stream a stream parasite? Please explain this to me.
How about well, he's the one that said spazzing out, and I said, well, what does he talk about?
And you're
Does he
still
just-
triggered? Oh my fucking god.
I'm not even talking to you because I find you to be an
I thought you don't
uninteresting-
believe in God.
So, Sarah, this is why you call
I
it.
will never believe in a God like your delusion. There is no God to hear your prayers, which is proven. You have as a system. I mean, how the hell is people 200,000 years old, and until you had
Shut
your
the
mod?
fuck up. You're fucking retarded, dude. You're psychobabble,
you're
dude.
retarded.
You just blab
Tell me
and
about
blab
No.
and
Let's
blab. You're
hold on.
fucking retarded.
Let's not insult mentally challenged people by comparing them to the low IQ.
That's all you have
parasites
to say because I
He's
couldn't.
apologize.
I mean,
He's
gee,
fucking
I mean,
He's
the
fucking
funny
above
thing
the
is,
retard.
the funny thing is you keep running your mouth, showing what an
hold
idiot
on.
you are,
Pardon
and
me for
nobody,
just a moment.
nobody
Pardon
can
me.
do anything.
Okay,
but
the
laugh
panel
at you.
I'm
host
gonna
is
solve
talking.
this problem. I'm going to solve this
Mommy's
problem
talking.
really quick. Mr. has just cash apped $100 and says, boot Hormaxer from Mr.
Glad you got
Mister.
$100.
Oh.
We love you,
Holy
Hormaxer.
cow.
Later, dude.
Come back
Boy,
another night.
See ya.
I
Wouldn't you
love
be ya?
you. I love you, Hormaxer. I'm so sorry, but
Oh,
the chat
shit.
has spoken. Mr. says bye-bye.
My boy.
Oh, but we do love you, Hormaxer. Come back Saturday night. We're doing a sip and stream.
No, that's abuse. He's mentally challenged. That's abuse.
Take
can't-
these broken wings and learn to fly again.
I was saying on Ruby's stream before this, and it's so funny that he ended up being here, that like he reminds me of somebody who when he turned 6, he realized that penises and vaginas existed, and he never stopped talking like a 6-year-old about them.
So,
Actually, I think
O-Face, we
you
haven't heard from
simply-
you yet. Do you speak?
I have a completely different like origin story for the Maxer. I think he was a loser until he was probably in his mid-30s, and then all of a sudden he had discovered testosterone injections, and he never looked back. So
Are you saying he has a vagina?
And Pete
I don't
Fudge
know.
comes in with the
No.
big five. He says Maxer's upset that the Swingers Club instituted a
height
Oh, God.
requirement. That's right. That's right.
You must
Let's-
be this tall to ride the ride.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that throws me out too, though. But that's
That's
I'll live.
funny.
I'll
Well, no,
live.
there wouldn't be a height requirement for ladies. Come on.
Oh, well, you must be under
that's not
this
nice.
height to enter.
That's not
That's
nice.
what that is.
One has to wonder when he's talking about going out with the, because he's always talking about going out with trans people. Does he play the man or the woman?
He plays the
know.
dude. He plays.
Doesn't
he
matter.
likes-
It's the bottom.
He
Either way.
likes. He's okay with trans woman, I believe, right? Where if you're a guy switching to a girl, right? That's a trans woman, right?
Yes.
Is that? I don't
Right.
know.
Wait, I've been
So-
here this whole time, and you need me to answer.
I never know which, like, if you say trans woman or trans, like, I never realized which way was which.
Wait,
I never
aren't you
thought
the
about
one
it.
that has the
Woman, is
woman's
that the
root?
one with the fake vagina?
Transition to woman. Transition
Yes.
to women.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I just never really gave it that much thought. Like I just
You can think of it this way: it's opposed to cisgender woman, right? Like a trans woman would be
You need
the
a normal,
non-cisgender
you need a
woman.
normal woman.
okay. That's fair. All right, to the panel. We'll start left to right. What does your utopia look like? This came in from
gosh.
Naomi. Now she gave it in a different spiel, but I'm twisting it to this way. What does your utopia look like? Go, Melanie.
We have localized communities, and that is like the height of power and organization, aside from maybe some confederacies, but no capitalism, no overarching governments, and an ecological way of living.
Fair. Grid, to you?
I mean, it's hard to improve on my everyday life, but if I had to, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I don't think in such ways. So I don't believe in utopia. It's a hard reach for me.
How about 1980 America?
1980 America. I mean, it was cool. It wasn't that cool. You know, I could go with like 90, like 95, 96, somewhere along in there. I could.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I can deal with it.
I'll take it. That's utopia.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's fair. I-Fi to you?
I have a 10-minute video if you want to let me present.
No.
Can you link it in the side
It's
chat?
service area. It's the same shtick I'm always doing. I'll tell you about it sometime when you have some free time.
Well,
That's
summarize it in like 4 sentences.
Christian capitalist libertarianism.
Makes
All right,
no
fair
sense.
I had an
Makes
ANCAP
all
on
the
my
sense.
show last night. It was awesome.
A what?
ANCAP, anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah, those people make no
Yeah.
sense either.
And caps are pipe dreams. You got to have some sort of government to be a country, so you have to concede that point.
And caps are like the least liked anarchist among the whole spectrum of anarchists.
I don't know, man. He was pretty cool. He was a
Michael Mouse would make a great neighbor, but he won't ever be able to form a country that you can defend. So he doesn't even have any cards to bring to the table. So
Even
non-starter.
Maoists will accept some sort of government. They all accept some sort of government. They're not.
That's
first
why you need a
problem-
libertarian government. You have to have a bare minimum to qualify for a nation.
Their first problem is that ANCAP is technically a contradiction.
Right. Because you still have to have some type of. Yeah.
Yep, they're just using it as a term. It's not pure.
It was an amazing discussion, and literally everyone said all of the things that you're saying, and I was like, and he made very good points. His name's Scott from Fabian Liberty, and
Fabian.
Are you aware of the
Yep.
Oh,
what's up?
face. What does your utopia look like?
My utopia? Just my own personal utopia?
Well, however you want to look at it.
So that's me going home to a wife and kids and not giving a damn about anything else that anybody else is doing, unless they're acting like freaks, and then we slick in the guillotine with them.
Oh, very nice. I like it.
That escalated quickly.
King Stephen, your utopia?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't really believe in utopias, but if it was a personal utopia, I'd have to say something like 1984, perhaps. A king-size waterbed from then with my girlfriend, my hot girlfriend, and a Mount Everest of cocaine.
Oh, so you didn't
Did you
mean
have
wait?
to say that? Did you have to
I'm
say
sorry,
that?
I was just being honest.
Yeah.
Did you not
Come
mean
on,
1984 the
you could've
book?
Hey, hello to my little friend.
You
I
could
didn't
have
know if
used
that
a
was
different
okay on
word.
YouTube.
It's
Well,
like
Coca-Cola
they're
used to
trick-
have it in
Yeah.
there. So.
Well, there's.
So you
trigger
didn't
words.
mean 1984 the book, just to be clear, because that's where I thought you were going with it.
Oh,
That's what I thought I
that
was
was just
doing.
a coincidental reference.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Why does everyone
Um,
keep saying 80s? It's like the 50s was the peak America.
Yeah, I'm not an American. What are you talking about?
Before Black civil rights, for sure.
I'm British. I'm not an American.
100%.
I was joking.
Matt, to you.
Yeah,
Utopia.
successful Third Reich. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Wow.
All right.
Fuck
That got deep.
Nazis. Fuck Nazis.
Let's
You can't
not
say
use
that
that
word on
word
YouTube.
either.
Come on, that's worse than cocaine.
Yeah.
It's actually
Okay,
not
all right,
banned.
stop with
I looked it
words,
up.
stop with
I looked it
words.
up. It's actually not banned
So
by
what
TOS.
it does is
Oh,
it
isn't
gets it's a trigger word that can do on your algorithm if you're
Oh,
using
don't boo me.
it.
I didn't
Oh,
mean
it's
to
the
do that, bro.
algorithm. Okay, I thought it.
Yeah, and it can also trigger reasons for them to look into the video and find more things.
I
I
meant
mean, if you want the
Coca-Cola.
algorithm to be less oppressive, just stop letting advertisers dictate what it is and tell YouTube we're not going to stand for this shit.
Let's all tell you.
Don't talk about
What's
the
the
war.
world?
YouTube has very quietly been cracking down on streams that use a lot of foul language.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just
Like
figured that.
chicken and turkey. Like, what are we talking here?
No, more like pea fowl.
Foul language. I hate you so much.
More like pea fowl.
Turkey.
Wow. Even at that, I feel like curse words are only curse words if you believe they're curse words, right?
I mean, it's
right.
It's
They're
just
just words.
there's something about they've been tweaking the algorithm so that if you are using very specific words a lot, it pushes you down in the algorithm.
How do you know all this about the algorithm? I'm curious.
Because
He's Indiana Jones.
I literally, this is kind of my job now, and so I like to be good at my job, and I do a lot of like poking around and trying to find stuff.
You're poking around.
Right, you
and
do
they're
a bunch of
tweaking-
things and then you get positive results and you attribute it to all the things you did, but you're not actually sure which one worked. I find creators to be actually very superstitious because YouTube and Twitch do not reveal how this works.
I don't actually do that. But
When I
if I
think of
did, I would do it in a test format to where I isolated the specific thing that I did to do that. I did a lot of data acquisition in my life, so
Fair enough. But like
eyes.
at the end of the day, it's really hard to do that because YouTube doesn't provide people much of a way to do that. They're basically saying
they don't provide normal people that.
Okay.
Like
Anyway, my general
me,
point. Sorry,
like-
I shouldn't have come at you, Grid. My general point was that the way that this all works makes YouTubers super superstitious to the point where we're paranoid.
No, you're right. You're right. And so I didn't know this, but some YouTubers, and I know a couple of them, actually know their YouTube rep. Like I don't know my YouTube rep. Like I've gotten an email from one once because of a thing, but I've never actually talked on the phone to my YouTube
I
rep.
know my YouTube rep. It's not that great. I'm hated by some people, but when I
Mine's
think
a
of tweaking,
communist.
I don't think of an algorithm. I think of other things.
And so when the rep tells somebody that, hey man, you need to, if you want your algorithm to grow, you need to, not use, specific language too much, right? But they don't care about other things. And then that person may or may not pass along that information if they like you. And,
So the rep is an actual person, not a bot.
Yeah,
they're actual people that interact with the creators to help them in theory, and they're there to help you do
I
stuff.
gotta get one.
Well,
of
that
those.
begs the question: what are the naughty words?
Right.
Well, most of the ones that we say all the time, like
Right. That knocks out the whole conversation.
Like 90% of this conversation.
Actually, I'm trying very hard to not say them on Sarah's stream because and actually I've been other than on my stream, I say stuff all the time. I don't really care, but I'd really try hard not to use specific language on other people's
Me too.
streams right now.
I'm trying.
My
not to
opinion
say all
on
the
this
keywords.
is that advertisers are going to keep constricting us more and more as they realize they have basically unfettered power to pressure YouTube to do this. And we're not going to be able to have these discussions. And then it's going to be the panels who just say, fuck it, I don't care if I lose my monetization. I just want to have these discussions that then get 100, 200 viewers per live stream because they're not restricting themselves and because people enjoy that. And then the whole thing turns around to where it becomes more profitable to not care about the algorithm anymore.
So
You're a vegan, right?
That's where I'm at.
I vote
That's
fight
actually where I'm at.
power.
I don't care about the algorithm myself, but I know that other streamers do because they
F
need
the algo. I don't like it.
I think it's important if you're it's important to be mindful of these things, right?
Yeah.
I still think you should have some form of this is me, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do. But I
Even
think
sort
there's
of
also still like a mindfulness to say, well, if I want to do X, Y, and Z, I know I'm going to get a dent in my algorithm, so on and so forth. And I think it's just okay by being mindful of it. But this actually leads into the next topic perfectly. Should hate speech be punishable by law? What should the punishment be?
Actually, let's do by death. Let's make it interesting. Let's make it interesting.
100% death.
Yeah. So, assuming that hate speech comes from some sort of genetic thing, then we can get rid of hate speech entirely just by getting anyone with the hate speech gene.
That's a big.
I think we can tell by your voice you deserve that.
No, you just disagree with me.
hate
There's a big
speech.
difference.
No, it's your voice.
Speech that categorically targets a group of people in a way that talks about like either dehumanizing, calling for their death, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it's all fine.
All right, Grid, to you.
Well, I don't believe there is such a thing as hate speech. So that nulls the question for me.
I see you on Untrackable. Hold on, just Untrackable. I see you. If you do want to go back into Avatar, it's up to you. Just give me a thumbs up. Oh, there we go. All right.
So as long as we don't call for their death, everything else is fair game. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's the floor is yours, or whatever you think.
Sweet. Okay. So we can say anything else we want about a large group of people, but as long as we don't call for their death, that's not hate speech.
No, it would be the targeted language first, and then what you do with that targeted language.
So any language that targets people is hate speech.
No, it's also what you do with that language. So if you use it for a violent purpose or violent ends.
So non-violent language is fine.
Yeah. That's generally how it works.
Because earlier you said dehumanizing. So if I said this group of humans are subhuman, I'm not calling for violence against them.
Well, it depends. Are we talking about a protected class, or are we talking about just a generic group of people?
That's what I'm asking you. Which humans are protected?
Well, how do
from
we?
speech?
Yeah. Why do we have a line for the protected class?
Well, because there's a group that's already represented as the majority. Their rights and interests are like the default thing that governments and economies care about. They're a group of marginalized people whose voices are undermined by that majority. And until we actually we do more for their rights than the average person.
So which groups are protected?
Let me finish. The rights will also be undermined.
Hold on, Wi-Fi. Let her finish, and then I have a question, actually.
Until we do more to protect their rights because they are marginalized, their rights will consistently be undermined.
So, question. So, since I'm average and part of the majority, I'm not protected?
Yeah.
There are protections that are given specifically towards women, but as a white person, no.
But I'm average, right? So you're saying because I just kind of fall into a mediocre.
You're reading
category.
too deeply into that. I meant people.
That's why I'm asking.
Statistically normative.
So
people,
if somebody threatens
majority.
death, if somebody threatens death upon somebody who's a protected class,
for being that protected class, to be clear.
But what if somebody threatens death upon me just for being a white woman?
Well, that's the thing. People often aren't going to target you for being white.
What if they do?
Based on that, then.
But what if they do?
Then, luckily, you live in a white majority where you're very likely not to be discriminated against, and if you are, it's going to be protected under law.
Why is that wrong?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
What?
As a white Christian male, I'm probably the most discriminated person on earth. I'm not able to do any of the things that you can do.
Or do you just have the biggest victim complex?
No, I'm just saying.
He just lives in a Western country. Okay. That's just
I live in a modern country that treats that literally prioritizes everyone.
It's mostly a Western problem. Eastern people aren't disregarded, but mostly Western.
The issue. I think that's very interesting. I think it's an interesting conversation to have. I've never really understood what a protected class is because
they're under a rainbow.
Protecting. I don't understand
classification. It means nothing.
Also, why so aggressive?
It's not arbitrary. It's not arbitrary. Let me
ask you this then. If like for instance, we'll use the LGBTQ community, right? Sure. Just as an example. If the majority ended up being LGBTQ and the minority being I'm just a normal white woman, Would I then
That-
be the protected class after that, and then
Sure.
you not
That
be?
classification
So,
includes everyone.
Can I answer? Holy fuck, guys! Like, so
That classification includes everyone.
Well,
Holy
straight.
fuck!
I will say straight.
So if
They're included.
we're talking about them having more power to discriminate against you than you would have against them, then yeah, the tables would turn.
That's usually what a majority has. When they have more people, it's more power to discriminate.
Just power
As
dynamic.
you already implied. She's using your system against you, by the way, if you haven't figured it out yet. But go ahead. Please keep digging.
Who? Are you referring to me or Sarah?
You.
Okay.
You.
Do white women have
Also, you
their
didn't
own
answer my
flag?
question. Why are you so aggressive to the man who was simply pointing out facts? Like, why are you so angry at him for just stating fact?
I'm not.
You were very aggressive to him. You
Okay,
said,
that's
"Are
like
you
your
suffering
opinion,
from
man.
a victim complex?" You accused him of being a victim.
No, that was just a
complex,
serious
pointing out
question.
facts.
That was just a serious question. Like, how do you know that you're not just like victimizing yourself? Because it's easier to when you see things only from your perspective, it's really easy to believe you're the biggest victim because you see your victimization the most, right?
You're victimizing yourself right now.
So, are you a victim in
Right.
this scenario? Is that what you're telling us?
Do you need
No.
protection?
Did you run out of responses there?
Do you need?
No, I was
special
just seeing if it works
Oh.
on you when you spit it out to other people. I was just seeing if you like that sort of
Well,
response.
My opinion about whether or not trans people are victimized by something like transphobia isn't just my opinion. It's a consensus in the medical community.
No one has a phobia of trans people. That's an irrational fear. Phobia. Who has a trans?
Are we talking about 2024 or like
Literally accusing us-
1700s?
People will literally accuse us of transitioning just so we can get into women's washroom, which is ludicrous, by the way. But people accuse us of that. And if you don't think that's transphobia, then A, you don't understand that there's such a thing called a neologism, where
No such
words can
thing as
take on new meaning. But also B, that there are examples of people being afraid of trans people, like trans women in sports.
No.
How many of those cases were true?
Gay shit, bro.
Well, with the
You
trans
gay
women,
shit, you're
with
trying
the
to
trans women in
justify it.
bathrooms thing, it's stupid on the face because it's still illegal to go into a bathroom and victimize anybody. So you're not more legally entitled to do anything as a trans woman except for be in a bathroom that's other than the men's bathroom.
Gay.
How many of those cases were true?
I just told you they're not going to end up being true because it doesn't really make sense.
Oh, none of them
to
were
do
true.
that.
No human ever faked transition in order for some sort of sexual gain. Is what you're telling me?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, he doesn't know of any, so I guess that's
You
all
don't either.
need
It
to know.
sounds like.
Oh yeah, I read the news, dude. So it's out there. If you
Okay.
follow the news, there's plenty of examples.
Sounds like you read like right-wing propaganda outlets, but go ahead.
Yeah, like CNN and stuff like that. MSNBC, total
Cool.
right-wing propaganda.
So when does CNN say people are trans people are doing?
There
this?
is no right wing in America, by the way. Can you name
Oh.
one person that's on the right wing?
Yeah,
I
Donald
am.
Trump.
Donald Trump is
He's
a
moderate.
Democrat that voted for Obama. You retard.
Donald Trump is a Democrat who
That's
ran for the
left-wing.
Republican. Donald Trump is a Democrat who ran for the Republicans. Okay, if you think that, you
Who
might be.
cares if he runs?
Oh,
if
hold on,
a
hold on,
snake
hold on.
Such a thing
runs
as-
as a bear,
High-five,
does that make
high-five,
him a
give me minute.
bear?
High-five. Calm down.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you not realize, probably not because you're Canadian, that Donald Trump ran 3 Democratic primaries to become president? He never was able to get past the first or second round, and he would quit.
That's probably because he was actually a right winger and didn't make it very far.
No, he was the darling of the Democrats at that point in time. Everybody loved him.
That's why I heard so much about him.
Maybe instead of reading propaganda, you should read.
I should take your word for it. Okay,
No,
cool.
go read history.
No, but like
Literally, literally, he ran as a Democrat. He had to run as a Republican to get-
people
get
who are
to the primary.
Democrats and real Democrats, not just like the people who are grifting in government office, they definitely switch parties when they don't get their way, right?
Oh yeah, all politicians
Like
lie,
Bernie
but
Sanders.
they're-
Yeah, like Bernie
he-
Sanders. He
their
switched
true
ro-
colors always shine, like who they actually vote for and where
Yeah.
they invest their money. So that's why I pointed out that
Bernie
Donald Trump
Sanders
donates
flipped,
to the
right?
Democrat Party. So that's
Bernie
where his true
Sanders
loyalty.
flipped to the Republican Party because he didn't get his way, right?
No, he's.
By the way, here's a
Who's
couple
more likely to
examples
flip?
of-
Who's more likely to flip?
Bernie Sanders
Who
got to
would
do
be more
anything.
likely to flip in this scenario? A true-blooded Democrat who actually believes in somewhat leftist values,
Now we're on
or a
politics.
grifter who's just trying to get into office because they want
Let
political
me
power as a
give
rich
you
person?
some current examples and see if you can figure it out. So here's a couple of members of his
You're not really
cabinet.
answering my question. Can you answer my question?
Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. Which party do they belong to?
Okay, so the answer to my question was the person who is a grifter and not really a Democrat is the
You're
one
just
who's
going to
more
talk to
likely
yourself
flip
now?
parties. Yeah, because you didn't answer my question. You had a chance, but you.
What was
but
your
you
question?
gave it
I'm
up.
sorry. Go ahead. Repeat your
Who
question.
is more
Perfect
likely?
time.
Who is more likely to switch parties when they don't get their way?
Well,
Someone
speak up
who's a
at the
all
cold-blooded.
politicians.
Let me fucking
All the
ask my
above.
question. Holy fuck! No, it's not all.
I
of the
just
above.
answered your question. All of the above.
No, because I said
Anyone
who's
who
more
identifies
likely. Do you
as
understand what
politician.
likelihood is, and that someone can be more likely than the other? So please let me. Ask my question.
Democrats.
You don't know what the question is then.
All right,
Weaponized incompetence every time.
looking at the wrong state. Mister comes in with a big 50. He says, "Next topic, please." All right. So actually, the next topic is flow state versus Furby. That is the next topic.
It's a topic.
That was
And for
our
the
topic.
love of all goodness,
Sounds like
don't
shit.
ask him the difference between ethics and morality.
Are they
We don't have all
flipping
night.
about it? Measuring
So,
them or what?
here-
Sounds
Are
boring.
Flo and Furby
You realize I don't have to consent to this, right?
That's all right. I prefer if you don't.
Okay, cool. Bye.
that answers that question.
I'll speed date him. I'll get me and Flo in there.
You
Wait,
want to?
what?
I thought they were a couple.
Wait,
Furby
what just
and Flo.
happened?
Yeah, me and Flo. Get me and Flo for. Give
I
me
mean,
and Flo 5 minutes.
Looking forward to it, but I'm agreeable to it.
The next, I
5
like your
minutes,
classes,
Sarah.
Flo. I like the aviator.
5 minutes.
You want 5 minutes with
Flo. Give me
state?
5 minutes.
Do you consent to this
That
flow
sounds
state?
gay.
I consent.
All right, everybody, potty break for everyone.
Let's play the grape game, Flo.
All right, you got to promise to struggle though.
You're supposed to say no. All right. So, what is the difference between morality and ethics in the simplest terms humanly possible?
I know that you have an idea in mind, and we've been over this. There is no functional difference.
Okay, so in your mind, there's no point of using those two words. They're the same word, correct?
They're synonymous. One is typically used more for organizations, and one is typically used for individuals.
Right. But it's just, tomato, tomato. Okay, so in your worldview, there is no objective truth nor objective standards. There is only relative.
What do you mean by
subjectivism.
objective truth?
I mean things that are true regardless of who
that's what
perceives them.
truth is, though, right? It's objective from the individuals. It's something is true if you and I can verify it outside of our own opinions, right? This is a pin.
Right, but in your worldview, that doesn't exist, correct?
No, I mean, I think that if we understand truth the same way, truth is necessarily objective.
Okay, so truth is limited to just things like math, like 1 + 1 = 2, and that's it. Anything beyond that, we can't say truth because everything else is feelings and subject.
It's limited to claims.
So, especially in the realm of ethics and morality, there is no way we're ever going to come up with a universal standard that holds true for all humans for all eternity, correct?
If by universal standard you mean universal rules that hold in any situation, then no, that's not how morality works.
That was my original point. My original point is in your worldview, there is no objective morality. There is only subjective ethics. Period. End of story.
Your idea of what objective morality is one that does not account for life's dynamic things. In my mind, it is objective.
Yeah, it does.
because
speak for me.
The structure of morality and the reason for it stays the same. However, life is variable. So sometimes it is right.
By the way, Flo, you can subscribe to an objective standard, even though you, the viewer, are a subjective person. Like you have your own human flaws and your own interpretations or whatever. We have the same problem with math, even though
That's a
math
very
is
good
objective.
point, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where I'm trying to get you to understand that it's not.
Can we even know an objective morality since
Yes.
we are subjective
Yes.
beings? would be a
It's
good
the
question.
same way we figured out 1 + 1 = 2, Flo. We can eventually figure out there is objective truth. Maybe morality is a little more difficult, but it can
You know
be
that
found. Yes.
truth is a quality of a thing. It's not a thing itself. It's a feature.
It's the definition of objectively existing. Correct. So that's
it's
what
not.
truth is.
Truth
Yes,
is
it
a
is.
quality something may have.
I'm not talking about little t truth, Flo.
I know
That's
you're
the problem.
talking about capital T truth. That's some weird. It's not a thing.
1 + 1 = 2, Flo. That's what I'm talking about. Is that true? Yes or no?
True, but it's little t true.
No, it's not. It's a capital T true, Flo. You know
No,
this.
it's
You
not.
already
There's
understand
There's
this.
nothing capital T about it. It's not a name.
Does 1 + 1
Not a
= 2 depend on whether or not I'm a man or a woman, or whether I'm blind or deaf
No,
or
it doesn't. Wait,
Hispanic?
So does the capitalization of the truth? Is that dependent on whether or not the thing is true?
Yes, it's true whether or not anyone observes
The
it.
little t truth.
The little t truth means that
It's a
even
truth
though
that's not
humans
true?
can get
Is that what you're
near objective reality, they can't ever pinpoint it exactly. So even if you get near it, that's close enough. Like you can say 1 + 1 is 1.95. You're close to 2. You're not right, but you're getting closer and you're warm enough, good enough. We'll call it a day.
Not actually true though.
That's the little t part of it. Flo, listen. So that's why it's subjective, because even though we're getting close to the truth, maybe we're missing it by a hair or a fraction or whatever, and that's fine.
Is the glitching on his end or is it on mine?
I may be
Anybody
yelling
hear
into
that?
my mic. Hold on, let me back up a little bit. Is this better? Hello?
No, it's an internet issue. You were kind of chopping up for me.
I may have been yelling. You get me spirited in these conversations.
Oh, darn. You
Oh, is that our
couldn't
time?
hear
Oh, our date's over.
anything.
Love you. Kisses. Bye.
No, that's me.
It's you.
Anyways, that's where Flo is stuck. He can't ever get past ethics and morality. He'll be in that limbo forever. Nobody
No,
can
I'm
help
not in
him.
limbo. I understand why I have morality and what it's for. You don't.
No, you don't. You have ethics, and you'll never escape it, and that's why I just explained.
The
it
only
to you.
difference
That's
between
why.
ethics and morality is that your morality is just a sentiment. It's just a feeling. You feel some sort
First
of way
of-
about morality.
First of all, Flo, just like Furby was getting wrong earlier, it's not my morality. It's not Sarah's God. There is only one true God. There is only one true morality. It doesn't matter whether or
How
not
do you
I
know about God?
subscribe to it or not.
How do you know about God?
My personal choice affects my life, but it doesn't change the quality of the thing. Just because I believe 1 + 1 = 2 doesn't make it true. I can say I don't believe in math. That doesn't stop it from being true, Flo. It's not my morality. It's just morality, period.
It is your God. I would like to know how you know about God. How did you learn about God?
The same way I know about math. I observed nature in the universe, and I came to a logical conclusion that we can detect patterns, and one of the patterns is that there's good and evil.
Okay, so I am here to give Mr. his money's worth. Sarah, sorry, I thought Mr. just asked for a topic change. Didn't realize he specifically asked for me versus Flo. If he paid for it, I'm willing to do it.
Let's do it then.
Now you want some, huh?
Well, yeah, if someone paid for it, like I appreciate when people do that, so I'm gonna show some
You
respect.
consent since somebody paid.
Yeah, definitely. So with this ethics thing, I find it funny because there's actually a different field of study that could shed some insight called metacognition. There's these 3 different types of learning: procedural, declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and I know the word for it, conditioned knowledge. So declarative knowledge is like just the things you know, and that might be what we could call morality in this case. Whereas procedural knowledge and see, I'm so bad with like listing things off. The conditioned
knowledge being morality, you mean like the 10 Commandments?
Or just having any sense that like this is a moral code someone could have. This is my moral code. This is someone else's
But
moral code.
you're generally
knowing
referring to
the
something that's
various
stated. It's the laws. It's the 10 Commandments. Things like that.
Yeah, in declarative knowledge, you would just know like the various moral codes that exist, but you wouldn't know how or when to apply them or why you would. That's where we come into procedural and conditional knowledge, which is more like the ethics, which is how we apply moral codes and when, but also why. Like, what's the strategy behind this and what are the ends we're seeking? So,
Okay.
Metacognition, I think, really does delineate these two things, because it's not until we get into ethics that we start using those other 2 types of knowledge.
Oh my God, I've never agreed with you more. We're supposed to be fighting, and I think that we just did the opposite. Yeah, that's an excellent way of explaining it.
Now I'm excited. Keep going.
Now I'm wondering if I consent.
It's not making me laugh. It makes me uncomfortable.
So yeah, that explains it very well. So what you would say is that I-Fi is operating at a lower level of understanding.
I wasn't sure who was taking what side of things, but for me, that's what solves like the difference between them.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. It's thinking metacognition. That's thinking about thinking, and that's one of my issues with religion. Is that it prevents people from thinking. Why do you need to think about anything if God told you? So
sure. And Flo, this is why it sucks that like the first time we met, the impression you gave me was that you're not very smart because you couldn't even let me speak. So like,
no, I chose not to let you speak. I made that clear.
Okay. Well, the only people I've seen do that are people who are so afraid of having to argue against me that they just never let me speak. So I'm just saying first impressions were that like you could never like have this level of comprehension on things because I do, and you were trying to keep me the fuck out.
No, you didn't. You were operating in bad faith, and that's why I decided to go low and be petty. Like I told you, I made that clear at the time.
No, you went lower, just to be clear. So, and
yeah.
You can say I'm operating in bad faith, but it wasn't at you. So I don't know what your problem is. That was like the first time.
It wasn't at me, but it
was someone you obviously were trying to protect.
No, it wasn't at a person at all. It was at an idea. You're unwilling to entertain new or alternative information. Well, even if you know that you're being hit with something,
people generally don't present me with new information. I've already encountered said information.
You were shown the own contradictions within your own logic, and
I need
you
specifics
just moved the goalposts right over.
Because if someone can actually do that, I'm pretty willing to actually change. Just that very few people actually reach that bar. Because I've been doing this for 4 years, I've encountered every argument in the book on most subjects, and when people bring up information to me, I've probably already looked into it.
See what I mean? Your mind is just as closed as a religious person. You think you know everything. You're done.
No, I'm just telling you what happens. Like, there's very few people who actually present me with information.
I've pretty much come across everything.
Yeah, I've had like thousands of debates, dude. I can't even count because
the amount of hubris and ignorance in that statement is astonishing.
So what do you use debate for? Because when I debate stuff, I try to find gaps in my knowledge. And then when I realize that I have gaps in my knowledge, I do more learning to make sure that those gaps are filled.
Yeah, but I don't think that you're filling gaps. I don't think that you're learning to figure out what's true. You're learning to seek support for the conclusion that you want to have.
Well, maybe there is no truth. Maybe there is just human constructed realities in nature.
If there wasn't truth, then we wouldn't even have a name. We wouldn't even have language to distinguish.
Can human constructed reality necessarily be true? Like if one culture has a construction of gender one way and another culture has another, is one of them necessarily true?
Yes.
But they're made up by
commies for dummies. Was that one of their previous guys?
But they're made up by people. Why can't they both be wrong? Isn't that
feels like Nancy Knowles?
But if they're made up by people, can't they both be wrong? Why can't one of them be wrong?
They're not made up by people.
There's a lot of things that are made up by people, Flo, saying all I'm asking.
There are a lot of things.
How do you know that there's always truth in that? What if there's no truth in anything people ever do?
Oh, this is gay, bro.
I still think I can convert Fairy Queen, Sarah, by the way. Get her back on a show. I want to speed date her.
Someone go let Fairy Queen. We want her. Quick, go get Fairy Queen. Whoever.
Fairy Queen to the panel. Fairy Queen to the panel. We will also accept Torshaa until then.
Slide into her DMs and harass her.
I'll DM her. I'll DM her.
She's really smart. I like her tenacity. She seems like she discusses things in good faith and has the capacity to have humility. I enjoy listening.
She has hope.
Even though she's wrong about everything, she seems to be open to learning.
Okay, Sarah, before I did a dramatic exit, I'm not leaving to be dramatic this time, so I'm just going to say thank you for having me. I'm just leaving because I have to go shower. Otherwise, I'd love to talk more. Have a good night.
Get out of here, you stinky little hamster.
Shut it.
Forgive your father. Forgive your uncle. I'm sorry they touched you.
No amount of shower can wash the butt smell off that dribble.
Oh, Lord. All right, next topic.
I-Fi, what do you think about...
No, I have topics.
Hey,
about
this one panel speak. This one came in from Joe Mobley. He says, should men help women with women's work?
No.
No.
Oh.
I mean,
what is women's work?
Wash the dishes, tomato.
Ghosty!
That's not defined. I mean, the only thing that is distinctly women that is work is labor, and men should help their wives with their labor. So yes, men should help women with their work.
It's by
You're also on my list, Ghosty.
I don't think that there's a proper should for this question. I think the answer is that whatever works for you in your life is the right answer.
It's by definition women's work. It's not men's work. You're retarded.
Okay.
Hey, Ghosty, I'm not allowed to talk about politics, but are you a left-wing person?
It's by definition women's work, not men's work.
I would say I'm definitely like more left. I'm not like a far left person, but I'm
What do
definitely
you think
more
are
on the
the main qualities that drew you to that side?
Feminism.
Let her answer.
Why haven't you shaved your head yet?
I don't know. My general values tend to agree more with the left.
Feminism.
Like free speech, anti-war. Like, can you kind of
like
ballpark it
left-center?
for me?
Anti-war was a big one. I don't know. I would have to think about it. I'm like,
What about the right wing repels you? What do you not like about it?
What a fascist question.
Again, just like more of the values and stuff, I guess. So, sorry, I'm like not giving specifics right now.
Yeah, just ballpark it for me. It doesn't have to be a policy, just the idea that you don't like.
I'm
Have
not
you ever
like
hooked up with a girl?
No.
Low.
That's a weird
Focus.
question to ask.
Focus.
Your political questions are dull.
Well, I'm
feel
not
like
allowed to talk about politics, so I'm trying to be as vague as humanly possible.
This
so,
is really weird because I feel like I know the answer to it. I feel like I've talked about this 100 times, but I can't think of exactly.
Hey, Ghosty, if I told you the left wing were a bunch of immoral socialist authoritarians and the right wing were moral capitalist libertarians,
Oh, so
would
that's
that change your
something.
mind?
That's something. Like I agree with like federal programs and more funding for like education and like I agree with
Okay,
like
so-
welfare and
Right.
stuff like that.
So in general, you think government does a better job than like the private sector, you would say?
I think so. What are some
Okay,
examples of
so-
like the private sector helping?
So like education, quality of life, the government always makes those things better in your world.
Why do you always take over panels with your autism?
Because I'm on the spectrum. I can't help it.
Oh,
Well, if you
Mama
c-
Tomatoes here. Everybody say hi, Mama.
Hi, Mama.
Hello.
I just want to see if there's
Wow.
hope for Ghosty. We're trying to save her. So go ahead.
How
go
many
ahead, Ghosty.
people have you got in your
Alright.
Christian conservative Utopia so far?
At least 3. There are dozens of us.
Pretty good.
Dozens of
3
us.
people.
There are dozens of us.
How many of them live in a refrigerator box or under a bridge?
Dozens.
All right.
Okay, I was just curious,
So,
Ghosty, if you
should
were interested in
men-
like opening
should
your
men
mind.
help?
I'll
should
try to think
men-
of better answers.
That's
should
all right.
men help-
I blindsided you.
I-fi. Should men help women with women's work? Flow state.
Like when we jack off?
Like making steaks.
I
Like,
suppose
what's
desperate
women's
times
work?
call for desperate measures, but
Sarah, the reason why we don't help women with women's work is because we're way better than at it, and so we want y'all to feel like y'all can compete with us. So we let you make the sandwiches because
I
we get
feel
tired
no
of making the
ambition to
sandwiches.
compete. If you want to come help me with my yard work, I will happily oblige. And I will just point and say what to do, when, how, or I'll even just give you like my goal and you can determine how to do that yourself. And that's okay.
I charge $900 per hour, and I accept your terms.
What is women's work?
Can I pay you in sandwiches?
Okay, that's fine.
What is women's work? That's a good question.
Yeah,
I guess
Breastfeeding babies. No, men should not help women doing that. Women got that.
I'm guessing the concept goes to like a job, right? Like if I have a job and I'm a nurse or something, should a male nurse come try to help me do something that I'm signed up to do myself?
Well, what if you can't do it?
That's the question. Should
So
the man
why
help
wouldn't you
me?
help someone? If someone needs help, whether or not they're a woman, if they need help, it doesn't really matter.
There are certain jobs we need women for. For example, a masseuse. I will not let a man massage me. So
Oh my
that's
God,
not even
men are the
on the
best.
negotiation. So there are some jobs that we need women for. I agree.
Yeah, I've never had a male masseuse either.
That's gay. It's super gay.
I'll rub you, baby.
Don't do that again.
I think a better question.
That's wrong. That's just like that's so wrong. First of all, that you did it so well.
Oh,
we need a baby oil for.
Oh, yeah.
I think a
here we
better
go.
question is
Go ahead.
should women help with men's work?
Oh, she has the baby oil right there. See.
It's a little
Ghosty, should we
empty.
let women be firemen and policemen?
Grid, those shades can't hide your red face. Get your mind out of the gutter.
So, Ghosty, if I
know
was
some
dying
great
inside
women
of
policemen.
a burning building and I was waiting for a woman to come drag me out, but she can't lift me because I'm twice her weight, should I just die for women's rights or something? Or?
So firemen usually work in a team, and firemen I used to date a
sometimes they get
fireman.
isolated, and
Most
there's
of their
just one dude
jobs
that
are
can
not
save you.
rescuing people from fires. Firemen and firewomen do a whole bunch of different other tasks. They rarely actually have to go rescue people from burning buildings, and they work in a team. So if a firewoman was on a team, she's probably not the one going to drag you out. But most of them are in pretty good shape.
What if the firemen could be saved, but you have to steal a ladder from somebody to do it?
What?
To feed your baby.
No, to save the firemen in the burning building.
I don't get it.
That's like asking, can an ambulance run a red light with sirens on?
This goes back to the debate we've had 1,000 times, which is why he doesn't understand morality and I do. Because the Ten Commandments.
That's because I have a lower understanding.
So he would
and
let
you and
anything
Furby
happen
have
as
a
long
higher
as he didn't have to
understanding.
steal.
That's because you and Furby have a higher understanding than I do.
We do, actually. Can you believe that? Can you believe the transgender gerbil Canadian knows more about morality than you do? That's fucking amazing. Jesus really dicked you over on that one, I-Fi.
I mean, that's pretty hurtful, to be honest with you. So, Ghosty, I got to go back to this whole thing about, that they work as teams and that sort of thing. But, each person has to be able to pull their own weight, so to speak, and the guy next to them. And so, I kind of disagree. I got to push back here. I don't think that your perception of reality is accurate.
So fire people, firemen, whatever, they are tested pretty regularly. So they have to qualify, participate in these tests, and most firewomen that I saw at my boyfriend's fire station, they were pretty burly women. And if there are people dying, I mean, if anything, say it's a family, she can go get the children, the man can go pull the burning man out, or they'll do it together.
Yes, because they have time to organize before they run into the dangerous situation. That's flawless logic.
Yeah, that's assessment.
However, if the standards are lowered so that women can do the job, can they actually do the job?
So when people say the standards are lowered, right? We all know that men and women can't lift the same weight, run the same speed.
Shockingly, that's true.
Right. So men are always going to be stronger,
You also
faster,
can't
whatever.
up,
So it's lower. It's a lower standard compared to men, but it's still a high standard for women in general.
But that's irrelevant because the standard is set. It doesn't matter if a man is 110 pounds and a woman is 110 pounds. The man would still have to meet the same requirements as a 180-pound brute. mean, it's just the way it works. Do you understand that this is the flaw in your logic? This is where it all falls apart.
So where is this happening in real life?
Everywhere.
Hold on. I was almost done.
Sports, military.
The minute you lower the standards to make it so that women are playing on an unequal footing as men, you've done harm to both. I mean, it's just the way it is. And it's actually really bad, I think, for women to. First of all, I think it's mentally horrific, honestly.
There's a lot of out of shape policemen. There's like a lot of
and there's
qualified policemen.
There's a lot of people who sit behind desks their whole lives.
If this was happening on a regular basis, where it's like man died because woman couldn't pull him out of a fire, or blah 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 blah. Like if this was actually happening in real life, I might have a different opinion.
I mean, if
but
it
it's
happens
not.
once in real life, I mean, just there shouldn't be a different standard at all. There should just be the standard. If a woman makes it, she makes it. If she doesn't,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's all I'm saying is there has to be the standard. There is
a standard.
Way around it.
An objective standard for
Well, let me ask you this: would they, if in the event there's a fire going, right, and the woman has passed all of her qualifications that are deemed on her, and the man has passed all of his, and it requires somebody to go in and bring people out, carry people out, and we know that maybe it's a men's warehouse, and so there's probably going to be a bunch of men in there. Okay. Would we be sending the woman in specifically to carry the men out, or would we be utilizing her in a different resource or as a different tool for the moment? I think that you could still apply, because she still qualifies as a fireman, right? To a good degree, where she's able to apply her abilities elsewhere. Yeah. But if she's in if the standard is to carry a sack of potatoes that's 200 pounds across, a 1 block radius and then up some stairs or something crazy, and they lower that standard for women to only carry a 70-pound sack of potatoes or whatever, would that in fact then, when that moment happens and it is required, would they take the general assessment to that and mindfully play her role where it belongs, whether it's being a hose person, breaking down doors, mitigating.
We're talking about supply and demand of labor,
right?
Because
I have no problem with that.
It's the organizational aspect of it. Yes, you could organize it like that, but by definition, emergencies are chaotic, and therefore, I reject the premise that you could be so organized as to say, you women go pick up the children and you men go pick up the men, because you don't know which rooms the men and women are in. You just have to go do the job, and the job has a set standard, and everyone who does the job needs to meet that standard.
Right. What I'm saying is, are we even going to send that female in knowing that there's a room full of 3? Right. So I think that inevitably you apply some form of common sense. Like, for instance, if I was a nurse and I have to be able to roll somebody over, and this person is a 300-pound person, and I'm like over here $120 maybe, right? Would I look at that and be like, oh yeah, I got this, guys?
They burn or boil when you're that fat?
Just say girl power, and then you'll have the magic ability.
Wouldn't I?
Let's
wouldn't I assess that situation wisely and say I probably, or if I'm not the best phlebotomist, but I did pass the test, but I already know I'm not that great at doing that situation, and I know there's somebody else better in the room that's better to that standard to do the good job, wouldn't I say, you know what, you're better at this, I probably shouldn't have to do it? It only comes in a moment of like absolute need, right?
So I think it's an interesting. I want to change I want to change away from firemen for 1 minute. I want to use because I love this example, because it's really interesting. Jet fighter pilot. So in theory, women make as good or better fighter pilots than men. First of all, they're light enough and small enough to fit into the planes. That's an important part of it, because if you ever notice, fighter pilots are not big people. Right. Second, they have generally, the women who try these sorts of things have excellent fast twitch muscle response, really good reflexes, and pretty decent awareness and perception. So on paper, it looks like they would excel. The problem is they overthink everything, and the reaction times are so slow, they fail the actual combat test. If when they go into if they go out to just fly a maneuver, they ace it 100%. They go into combat, they lose almost every time. I mean, not every.
What is this based on?
Sorry?
What is this based on? What are you basing this on?
The U.S. Air Force, the Navy.
Like, where are you getting this information that they start overthinking and they're not able to? I've never heard of this.
You've never heard of that?
No.
I haven't either. But
you haven't heard that? Okay.
No, I haven't either. But like, I'm about to look it up, which is probably.
Yeah, look it up.
Well, while you're looking that up, the Trib one comes with the big
paralysis.
5. Pardon me for just a moment. The Trib one comes with the big 5. He says standards don't equal required. Standards don't equal required level for the job. Standard is a precedent which is made for multiple reasons. Dummies aren't making the standard. You're welcome to
yes,
respond.
they are.
And Joe Mobley.
Also, women have inferior spatial awareness.
Am I delayed or something? Because I feel like people keep interrupting me. I don't know if there's like a delay on my mic or something.
No, I think we're just being really rude, Sarah. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to, I thought it was me. I really thought it was just me.
No, it's me. I'm just being a dick. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to make, well, it's not okay to be a dick, but what I'm saying is I'm not upset by it because I truly thought I was just being delayed. Joe Mobley is laughing his ass off right now because we all got it wrong. I presented it to you incorrectly, but I'm glad we went down this rabbit hole because I think it is an interesting topic nonetheless. He says, this is funny. I meant, should men help women with women's work like making sandwiches and washing the dishes? Not a joke.
No.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't a man help with maintaining their household? That's ridiculous, you know.
Statistically, men break less dishes. Hey, Ghosty, do you know why women tend to break dishes more often than men?
No, I don't even know if that's true. But
because some women think
it.
they've outsmarted men and they pretend like they're clumsy and they try to convince their husband that they can't wash dishes and they therefore convince their man to take them out to dinner all the time instead of making them cook.
Oh.
I like that.
Oops, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry, Sarah. I was just listening.
Joe Mobley
I meant women
Mobley,
are
come on up here,
respectable
buddy.
creatures.
Come on.
Yeah, Mobley.
Come on up. Get up on here. Get up here,
The
buddy.
link is pinned, Mobley. I'd love to have you pop on. He says because women can't help men with men's work, but I disagree with that, actually. I disagree with that a lot.
So Ghosty, oh, sorry.
And I'll even say, like, there's been several times, even when I was younger, if my dad was, he completely renovated our house top to bottom when I was a child. And I loved to be there right by his side. And, you know, usually my role at that age was hold the flashlight or go find a tool, right? And you got to know what tool it is. You learn really fast. But as years progressed and as I got older, like I wanted to actually help and actually do things. So now the roles are semi sometimes, where I'll be doing something and I just need my dad to like hold the other side up of a shelf or, you know, do kind of the grunt work for something. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. I think that women can actually help with men's work. We are very good at playing support roles. Whether it's, I used to help my husband all the time with kind of more like administrative stuff that he had to do.
You made the best coffee.
Meant to talk.
Sure.
But I have something here, Sarah. When I in the last year or so that I ran the race team and we were running the World Challenge, I had this female crew person, and she was really good. As a matter of fact, when I needed to loan out someone to another team to fix their messed up stuff, and I didn't want to, I wanted them to actually, make it to grid be able to race against us, I would loan her out to the other teams, and she was, and they would all be like, "We thought that you were joking with us. We thought that you were like sending over your, just the, the placekeeper, but she actually like outworked all my own guys." I'm like, yeah, she's awesome, but it's really rare. I think it's a really rare thing. It's like one out of so many people that tried. But I do think that it is possible, but I don't think it's the norm. Right? Like
Hey, Ghosty, do you mind if I kind of summarize and move on, or
well,
to the previous
actually,
topic?
It's not my panel.
Oh,
so Ghosty, I think you would agree about the standards.
Hold on. There's an echo going.
There's a lot of echo.
I think it's the new guy.
That was me. That was
All
me.
set?
How about now?
Yep, all
set.
good.
So, Ghosty, I think you will agree about the standards part. The important part to be aware of is, even though it sounds good in theory that we want everyone to be given a fair chance to compete in the world, there is reality about life that certain people are better at certain things, and so in the end, nature doesn't lower its standards. So in reality, in the burning building, it's not going to lighten up gravity just because you're a woman trying to help a man out of a building. So at the end of the day, we have to just admit, face the facts and make the best choice. So moving on from that,
Right.
I do. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said right. I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I assumed you were going to agree with that part. So I think you would also agree that we can just let reality decide these things. So we can let women and men compete in anything, and then just observe the results and see who is better at XYZ, and then just let society decide, what role they should play.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
Women are objectively better at some things in comparison to men.
Right. So that's that
Objectively better.
was my point.
Yeah.
Who's at the bottom of a well?
I don't know where's
It was
the
like
well?
His voice.
The mic was like 10 feet from his face or something. I don't know.
That's okay.
I
We could forgive our cell phone friends who come in.
Yes.
It's all right. We like the participation. I'm trying.
Joe
to figure
Mobley,
out-
what's your you provoked this fight? Where are you at on this?
I did. I don't think we should. I've been agreeing with everything that you've said until this last part. Case in point, women in the natural state are better shooters.
No.
But contextually,
no.
Especially the Russian ones.
Contextually, now if we're talking about static range shooting, without the training as a data point, they're better natural shooters. Case in point, anecdote, but still, case in point, the second round my wife ever shot, it shot the X out of a bullseye about 10 yards with a 3-inch barrel on a SIG 9mm, and it's just like. But then you turn around and you know factually that women's spatial reasoning is a little bit worse than men's, which goes to Grid's fighter pilot thing, which also goes to where he gets that from. It's called combat effectiveness reports and dope data on previous engagements. These are just objective facts of men.
He said overthinking. He said they start overthinking.
Yeah, he said overthinking. I said spatial awareness. That was my observation.
I think
this is bullshit.
I think that was his hypothesis about why they underperform in the cockpit in real world missions versus.
That's analysis paralysis. They're too long. They're too slow on the trigger.
This dude's a cockpit.
And there are times where I think that comes in handy. Maybe not as a fighter pilot, but there are times where I think taking your time to make a decision and observing and analyzing it can actually be a good thing, because we consider everything involved, not just like tunnel vision.
Women are not superior to men in any hand-eye coordination at all. Period. Full stop.
You're saying we don't have the lack thereof, like we're okay at it?
Women are not superior to men in any way in hand-eye coordination. Full stop.
Okay.
They're better at sitting still for longer periods of time, and
I'm
they're
not.
better academically speaking
Period.
in terms of the way that the American education system is set up.
I just
Women
think
are not superior to men in any way, hand-eye coordination or comprehension. Period. Full stop.
Just
Or
I think
comprehension.
the syntax of your sentence is terrible. You're
You're a
flip the
faggot,
words
dude. You got
around.
faggot boys. You're a faggot, dude.
That's great. I love.
We don't allow any of that. That's,
Yeah,
I think that's TOS stuff, dude.
That's
You can't
an
use that
instant
word.
ban. You're gone forever. I apologize, but I don't apologize. That kind of shit does not fly on any of my panels, nor will it ever. You are permanently banned. Ain't gonna fly.
I was just telling him to switch the words around and say because he was
it doesn't
saying
even
women
matter.
aren't
Yeah.
superior in any way.
So the
and
fun
then
part of
adding
the whole
other thing.
debate about men versus women, it's easily solved. So if someone said who shoots better, men or women, let's find out. Let's put them all in the Olympics together and see who wins the Olympics, and then we'll get the answer. So
Well,
we don't have to
I
sit
think it
here and
also
debate
comes down to training and how long have you been doing it and all of those things.
Sure.
Like
and they can
I
all
don't-
receive the same training.
Yeah. If you line up, if you get like 100 random men and 100 random women, and none of them have ever shot rifles of any sort before or guns, whatever, and you train them each all exactly the same and gave them all the same instruction, that would be an interesting.
But do you think that in the Olympic setting, just the elites, however you were trained or whatever you put into it, you don't see that as an even contest?
Between like the elites?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
best
I would-
men
I
and the
would
best
find that to
women of
be-
every nation.
So, just as a point of information, you probably don't know who Lena Mikulek is, but she's Jerry Mikulek's daughter. He's a world record holder, champion, world champion several times over in several different formats of shooting. She's actually a world champion in several different forms of shooting. When I was shooting 3-gun regularly, as a guy, you knew you were getting good when you could beat Lena, because she would be the top female, and she'd be in the top 10 or 12. But she never took an overall. And we have an Olympian, Lanny Barnes, who shoots with us, and she's a legit Olympian. She did biathlon, and it's awesome, an amazing shooter. Her channel is Lanny Oakley. It's amazing the things she does shooting, and she can't take an overall win. Period. It just will never happen.
we also don't have as many female shooters, right?
Yeah.
But these are world champion level against chiropractors.
So this is where we come into the problem of learned helplessness, because if you actually think about it and you understand.
Hold on, Furby, are you showered now?
Yes.
Okay.
I washed away my date with Flow State.
That's a stain you can't remove.
Yeah, it's too late. It's in you now.
Ill. So, if you understand like biology and physics, and I'm not a sports scientist, but I would refer to Django Science Lab on this.
Are you? Hold on, Simp Trooper. Are you having a converstion with someone else right now?
No, that ain't me. There ain't
No,
nobody
sorry,
else here.
that's my background. I'll mute my mic.
Oh, I apologize.
There's really no conferred advantage to being a man when you're shooting a gun.
That's a really wild claim to make without any kind of.
Let's see if the Olympics agrees with your feelings.
What would it be?
Helplessness. I'm a woman, so I learned that I can't be as good as a man. Therefore, I don't shoot as well. That's ridiculous, man.
So aim, for example, there's really probably no difference between the sexes. We both have the same, ultimately the same brain. Are you saying men can aim better than women?
No, I'm saying that men and women
Okay,
are
so then the next thing would be
and
like-
therefore it's possible that there's a difference. But making the assertion that you made without any sort of proof. I mean,
Next thing-
where are you getting this from?
The next thing would
Oh,
be
the
being
proof
able to
is
hold
easy.
the
Just
gun.
don't separate the Olympics between men and women. Just let them all compete together, and then you'll get your answer.
And there are actually certain fields like figure skating, of course, and I think actually one of the ones where you do the skiing and shooting that women do have better performance in overall.
Sure. We shouldn't pick categories. We should let men and women compete in anything on Earth all together.
Although we
And
still
then
need
you get
to
your answer.
we would still need to take whoever the top female athlete was and still give
No,
her
you
the gold
wouldn't.
medal.
You would take the top performer. Whoever won the Olympics is the winner. You
No,
don't
but
care
because
whether
then you
they're
are
male or
discriminating.
female.
Then you'd have a discriminatory
What's
system.
wrong with discrimination?
You're right. Nature
Discrimination's good.
discriminates against winners and losers. You are
Smarter
correct
than
about
nature.
that.
We're smarter than we can do better.
Why? Well, what's
We're
better
not
than
normally
what's better
smarter
than
than
I mean, if
nature,
we're
honestly.
smarter,
Smarter,
the biological imperative to discriminate doesn't mean that there haven't been
Really
humans in the
bad
past.
arguments to make. I mean, Selena Williams played like not even top 100 male tennis player and got smoked. The U.S. women's Olympic team got smoked into the dirt by a bunch of 15-year-olds. I mean,
what about the
let's
soccer?
live in reality. Come on, guys. Let's just it's okay to say there are differences. It is. It's okay.
Not for some
It doesn't
people.
hurt you. It's okay.
No, I understand this. Like, I'm fine with separating sports by gender.
because
But
women are-
I just
women
don't
are-
think it's a useful conversation to say men are generally this way, women are generally this way, and like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I just don't see any usefulness to overgeneralizing, like, masses of people.
Not
Isn't
the
it-
good and proper functioning of a society. That doesn't seem like a good
Like, we
use
can
for
make
the
general
roles of men and
statements like
women.
men are stronger than women, but if we're gonna say like men are, I just don't see why it's a useful conversation.
Especially because it ignores the differences in these groups. There,
What I also am
there's
not
differences among
seeing
women,
is-
even.
What
and
I'm
some,
what I'm not seeing, I apologize, is that nobody's really tuning into the idea that we are all individuals. We grew up completely different experiences, different lifestyles, different teaching, training, so on and so forth. Now, women may not as a whole be better, but I'm sure there's a woman out there that can do something better than a man. And then there's a man out there that can do something better than a woman. What I think we need to recognize overall with the generalized statements that are being thrown around left and right is that we're all individuals. I might be able to make a better egg sandwich than Grid 1, but Grid 1 can probably fix a car significantly better than me. But I can also draw pretty pictures better than Grid, but Grid could also, I don't know, like pick shit up and do a lawn better than me. I don't like, there's so many things, but what we have to understand is that Ghosty and I, we're both females, right? She may be able to, decorate a room better than me. And I may be able to build a shelf better than her. And she may be able to make a cake better than, like, we all have our individual thriving. We all do well at whatever it is we want to do well at. Women just focus more on what we would consider women things, and men focus more on men things. And every now and then you get a little cross sectioning over there, and there's women that can do men things, and there's men that can do women things better than everybody. So we can sit here and say overall this person sucks at this and they suck at that and they're really good at this, but we always forget there's an individual behind every generalized statement who has everything different.
That's true.
It seems
also,
that people
Uncle
that
Guns is right about his statement. Is absolutely correct that he made. I've had the same thing, even in racing. That's the same thing. If I take two new students, a dude and a woman, initially the guy might be a little faster because he's just bolder, but women tend to be very sensitive to the car and how it moves and all of that. Once they get over the noises and the feeling of the acceleration and deceleration, they will come up to par pretty quick. The problem is that it's very, very difficult in wheel-to-wheel racing for them to be as aggressive. They lack the controlled aggression a lot of times, and they either have too much aggression and they crash out, or they don't have enough aggression and they get shut out. Same thing happens with men to a lesser degree, and that's something I used to look for in drivers was that just the right amount of controlled aggression, and men seem to be able to manage that a little better, especially the ones who've been punched in the face a few times as a young adult.
So
laughing.
I was listening during the firefighting stuff.
I've been punched a lot.
But what struck me is nobody brought up that like women are actually more like, since they're more nurturing, apparently, so I'm told.
That's not true.
They would be more likely. Let me finish. They would be more likely to finish or to actually save someone's life, whereas men, they just care about putting out that fire. They don't care about saving people's lives as much as they're not as nurturing. So if we're going based on stereotypes, I can assume that that women would be better at saving lives than men. Now, I don't agree with any of this, because if we look at like policing, for example, and why policewomen can do their jobs, even though that's also a physically demanding job, it's because you have tools. There's tools that also help you do your job. So as we advance technologically, we start to see less of a need for raw brute strength in these professions.
I also feel like it's just very disrespectful to women in these fields, like women veterans, women police officers, women firefighters, who are doing their jobs, their dangerous jobs, risking their lives every single day. And people on the internet just like to talk shit on them because the gender wars.
Yeah,
and I will say to that, the job that I went into when I was in the Air Force was very physically demanding, and there was like less than 1% of women in that field. I had to pass, like at MEPS, I had to pass a standard. It was one test, like everybody took it. I passed that. But then when I got to my INDOC course, they actually had a lower female standard for it. And I refused to do, I demanded to push forward and do more. Even though they said you can stop now, I said, no, like this is what the standard is the males. The only thing that I couldn't do to the male version, right, was the ruck.
He's standing up.
Yeah, that too. Well, you can, you just can't aim. Who's got the echo?
You can put out more fires that way too, by the way.
Right. But I couldn't do the ruck only because I have really short little legs. And so doing a 1 mile ruck, I couldn't keep the pace because you have this 70 pounds on your back and you're trying to keep up. And but they forgave me on that. Nobody was even mad. But I think that you're right. It is very insulting when people say, women like have a lower standard in this and that or whatever. But then there were men in my group who couldn't even pass the standard I was being held to while I was flying by them and annihilating them in the PFT every time. So to that, I say suck a toe, right?
So Ghosty, to your respect issue, do you think it respects women that just because every once in a while there's an exceptional woman who can do almost as good as a job as a man, that we should encourage all women in that society to follow that same career path?
Ghosty's not wrong.
What are you talking about? Like every
He's
once
trying
in
to
a
justify
while?
being disrespectful.
You said to respect the police
it's
women
rare
and
to
the
find-
fire women.
It's rare to find anybody like in any given field. There's always those like people that have this like God-given gift and they always excel over other people. Now we can like break this down by gender and stuff, but this is just a humanistic thing. There's just some people that are better at certain things than others.
So because you found an exception to the rule, you think it's now a good idea to start the general idea of teaching young girls that they should grow up to become firefighters and policemen.
Will you quit strawmanning so hard?
If they want to. Like, I'm just
It's not even the
saying.
argument.
Yeah.
Explain the straw man flow hate. How's that a straw man to show respect?
Ghosty,
to women?
did you make the claim that he accused you of making?
No, I never even
Okay.
said that.
You didn't say that we should respect the women who did the jobs as police women and fire women. You didn't.
That's
just
not
say
the
that.
same as saying that we should tell all women to do those jobs.
And I was asking you. I asked Ghosty. Did you just?
Yeah,
say
I know.
that we
Like,
should
frankly,
respect the
you ask
women
Ghosty too
who
many
did good
questions and not
jobs as
me,
police
because
Yeah,
I
we
think
know that
people
you're
are crazy.
autistic, but there's more people here than just you and Ghosty.
Yeah, so,
So
maybe you
you
could try
have to
asking.
answer
we'll
for
all
Ghosty, Flo,
answer.
or does Furby answer for Ghosty? Which one of y'all?
I
is
know you're
answering for Ghosty?
intimidated. I know you're intimidated by me at this point. We've had a few.
Okay, Furby's gonna
And
gonna
so-
talk for you, Ghosty, because
Furby and me are gonna
that
tag
person
team the
doesn't
shit out of
respect
you.
women. So that's
You're
No, I
not
don't
having
respect
you're
you.
not having an honest conversation anyways, so I don't care.
okay.
Like,
So
jump
you
in.
did not
Ghosty,
say
why do
we
you think this? Why do
respect
you think that?
women that did
No,
a
she
good
did
job
say
as
that.
police
You don't
women and
understand the
firewomen.
difference. You don't understand the difference between saying that and saying that we
Yes
should
or
tell
no,
all
Ghosty?
women to do
I
that.
still haven't heard a
Doesn't
confirmation.
You've already heard
Yes
no.
or no.
We're all
I
telling you
obviously
no.
said that.
Okay, she did say that. So Flo is retarded, and so is Furby. Okay, moving
They-
on. So
No, you're
would
the
we
one.
respect
I didn't
you're
say
the
what
one
you
who's getting-
said.
Yeah,
You're the
she
one who's
didn't say
getting
what
bitched
you
the fuck
said.
out. You're the one getting bitched the fuck out because you.
So
took it
allow me
somewhere
to
that you
rephrase
never
the question,
did.
Ghosty, since you didn't
I said what
understand
I
the first
said.
time.
I didn't say what you said.
Hey, I got a great
Would it
idea. How about we
show
all
respect
talk
to
over each
That's
women?
a literal
That's really
straw
good
man
for the
right
health
there.
Would it show respect to women to teach
I
young
fight.
women to follow in the footsteps of these honorable women that you just proposed? These honorable.
Would it be respectful
police
to
women
act
and
like you're not
firefighter women?
retarded and continue addressing your questions as if you're not retarded?
He rephrased it in a better way this time, where he's actually asking if it would be respectful. So I'd
Would
like
Okay,
it
let
be
me-
respectful to what? To teach women to
I would try
be
to tell you, but
firefighters?
these retards won't shut up. So one more time, Ghosty.
I know. See,
Would it
this is
respect
this is the thing I did to
women
Melanie that one time. Is I
to
just
teach young
kept
women that
frustrating
they should follow
their
in the footsteps of
attempt
these
to
honorable
talk.
police
Hold on,
women
Flo.
and honorable firefighter
But
women
he's a
that
bitch.
respect
if
women.
they want to, if there's a young woman who like looks up to firefighters and that's like her dream job, then you can raise her to be like, hey, look, it's going to be harder for you as a female, but there are other females who have done this, so fucking train hard, like build your body up and you can do it. I'm not going to tell
Okay.
all women to do that.
Thank you for your answer, and sorry the retards wouldn't shut up for like 2 minutes and let you
I-Fi,
answer.
do you have
but
an issue with
thank you
that
for
answer?
finally answering.
Sorry, you can't answer a question without straw personing someone first.
Do you have an issue with the answer, I-Fi?
person.
I think I pointed out that finding an exception to the rule is not the good reason to change the general description of
She
society.
literally said
was
she
my
wasn't
point.
changing the general description.
I
We're
just
just not
proved
going-
she did. She
we're just
she
not
just
going to
repeated
meet-
it one more time, Flo. One more time for Flo. Sorry, Ghosty. You answered my question.
This
Flo,
is you're overstaying your welcome here.
I asked
I
her,
was
is it
here.
okay
I was
for
here. I heard
society
We're not
to
talking
teach
about-
all
Up,
of the
stop.
women?
We're not-
They
we're
can
not-
all
Both of you, I will put you both backstage for 5 minutes and let you cool
Will you
off.
put I-Fi
Listen.
backstage too?
Listen for a second. Let I-Fi finish his
I'll
thought,
kamikaze if I can
and
take I-Fi out with me.
Then Furby, you go, and then Flo if you have a response, and then I leave it open to the panel. I-Fi.
So Flo,
Say something, I-Fi, so I can
one more
kamikaze into your bitch ass.
Notice how it's going to me next, but he's asking Flo a question, of course.
Hey,
'cause he's
Flo, you could always pay to put him backstage.
I can't. I was off work for 2 weeks.
Well, then quit your bitching. You sound like a woman.
For real, dude. There's
For
one
real,
job that
dude.
women are better.
I-Fi, you don't have a
I
lot
don't
of
care.
room
She's
here.
not going to peer pressure me into submission. I-Fi, start talking so I can kamikaze into your bitch ass.
So finding the exception to the rule is not a good reason to change the general description of a society, saying that
You really
generally
wish somebody
speaking-
had that position so you could argue against them, don't you?
We do have
I
to-
don't know. Maybe you like a girl that just said we should honor the women who served in police and firefighting, something like that.
I think what Ghosty is trying to say is that it's okay to say, hey, women can do this. It's not the mass, right? Just like most men can't do women things, right? It's okay to say it's not typically popular, but if you were going to do this, just know it's been done, look above, right? And that is what you can aspire to do. But if you do that, you have to recognize you're playing in a man's world, and it's going to be harder, and you have to be tougher, and you have to do X, Y, and Z, just like fucking YouTube, okay? I know I'm playing in a man's world. I can't have feelings on here. I can't
Don't
come
you
on
forget
here
it.
crying. I can't come on here crying because I'm a girl playing
There's
in a
no
boys'
crying in baseball.
game.
I would say I hate changing diapers.
Okay,
I hated it. It's already passed, but it's
easiest
done.
way of
It's
saying
a
this
nightmare.
that Ghosty isn't talking about making an exception a norm. That's what you keep focusing on. That's where your brain went. We're talking about not kneecapping women by limiting their role models to things that are stereotypes. So that way women only believe that they can be princesses or stay-at-home moms.
Don't worry, dude.
What's wrong with them being a stay-at-home mom? That's a better job than anything else.
Nobody said there's anything wrong with it. Again, please try to listen.
Because it's not politically correct and it's not popular in the left
issue is what we
They need these
The
illusions.
fact is that it's a very small percentage of women who can afford with their husband to be a stay-at-home mom. With the way it's all economically built in, I think, with everything and how it goes, you need 2 cars because mom has to take kid to baseball game and this and that, and you run around and get errands and yada yada. Like, we can't get away with just a half a house anymore. Right.
No, and that's been for like what, 20 years now or more, 40 years.
And most women don't play in the men's field anyways. Like, most women are in a support role or nurses or teachers.
I think
because that's what they choose to do.
I think the issue is that some of these dudes can't perform against women, right? It's the same reason that some of these dudes don't like no fault divorce. They need the woman to need them, need me, have a war, have famine.
I think men like to just be constantly acknowledged for having the what's the word? But they have like the lead in physicality things, and they just need to constantly be told. Certain men need to constantly be told and recognize and acknowledge over and over again that men are stronger and blah 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 blah. And so they like to have these little conversations with feminists, and they think it's going to trigger women. And I don't know. That's like my conclusion I've come to.
I think that's a silly thought. That's just apparent prima facie on its face. Just like my skin is brown, I'm also larger and stronger than almost all women.
And so am I.
That's not something that we need to assert. That's not something that we constantly need to assert. That's
well, then why are you guys having these like questions and conversations?
Because women have become so delusional that you're denying. Because women have gotten so delusional and simping men have gone with them to allow you to deny basic reality.
Nobody's doing that here.
Yeah,
and you guys are still arguing as if we are. That's my whole point.
They hear this from right-wing pundits who are against the left and all this stuff. They take it for granted. They never actually question, have I ever heard a leftist actually say that women are stronger than men? Because I've argued against this plenty of times. I've even
I actually have, but
there's
just one time. So,
but that's because
I don't know what a leftist is, but I can guarantee you that there's only
90%. You guys get caught up in the fact that there's caveats, and 30 to 40% of
no. That's not what we're caught up on.
Yeah, no, it is. Let me explain. Because when you ask a question like, "Can a woman be a firefighter?" When you ask a question like, "Can a woman be a firefighter?" It's not just a simple yes or no question. You want it to be a yes or no question.
Firefighter.
So you're the one who can't handle. You're the one who can't handle reality and the fact that not everything's binary.
Everything is binary, and you have to overcome the ought issue. Why ought this woman be a firefighter if she's an inferior firefighter?
Why ought we discriminate against women if
for DEI,
a more technologically advanced field, and the gender differences are becoming less and less concerning?
Because generally chicks don't like technological fields. It is a goalpost shift, but it's a bad one because the Nordic countries have already put this idiocy to bed. I'm sure you're aware.
Even though Gamergate was about how women trying to have jobs in gaming, which is a very technological field, get harassed,
ignored it completely.
I'm providing you a counterexample of a technological field that women want.
A much inferior counter example.
Well, I mean, the gaming industry doesn't require physical standards, right? That's more of like.
Exactly.
Also, the women didn't compete very good because they kept eating the controllers, so they weren't able to play as good as the men.
I'll shut up. Go ahead, man.
You've never seen the women eating controllers? Like every gamer girl in the 90s was always like licking and eating her controller while the men were like playing the video game.
men would be asking them to do that, obviously.
That's so weird.
I mean, I guess if somebody paid $20 for me to like, I don't know, lick my phone, I'd probably.
Finkel, where's Finkel? Finkel, get her to lick something.
Finkel would say the no licking of objects.
Oh, yeah.
this
Wrong
evening.
one.
Yeah, you're calling for the wrong one. But I think what we're coming down to is, as Joe was saying, is like, I think the real thing is, can they? Yes. Ought they? No.
No.
I think that's kind of like, that's not kind of where you're going with that.
No, that's exactly where. Yeah, I was.
No, we were agreeing with you. You phrased it correctly, and the
okay,
answer was no.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
ought they? No.
So the question comes down to not whether they're capable of it, but the question comes to, ought they? So Ghosty and Melanie, I guess to you, we're recognizing that they can't. Hormaxer, I see you backstage, but Mr. paid to boot you, and you'll have to come back another night. I'm sorry. So ladies, the question to you would be, ought women be firefighters, police officers, air pilots, in jet fights and whatever, so
Military front line.
And P. Fletch has confirmed there will be no phone licking this evening. Thank you, P. Fletch.
Thank you, Fletch.
Do I have to stop licking my phone?
I think certain women ought to. I think certain men ought to. I think certain women ought not to, and I think certain men ought not to.
Why?
Depends on their what they're good at and their strengths and their capabilities. That's what it comes down to.
But if the premise is that they're inferior and we'll just get.
Are they able to get the
on-
job done or not? If they're able to do the job, they should be able to do the job.
But
I agree.
To a definably lower standard, whether we're talking combat arms.
Are they able to do the job or not? That's what it comes down to.
I think that's been proven to be obvious.
So
I
would also point out
that let's see what
humans-
the average size of a car crash victim is.
Look, if you have it,
I
if
would
you
also
have the
point out
same
that-
standard for everybody, most women aren't going to make it for higher things like that. But if they do make it, if they outperform men at the standard, then why wouldn't you let them in? It's the same. I feel the same way about leadership, women in leadership.
I agree with them.
Let them lead. We don't need to touch this thing at all. Just have a standard. If a woman leads, then she leads. But if we're subsidizing the female leadership market, then we're getting a less desirable result because we're prioritizing something besides leadership. So I don't think that. I think if you have a standard, just one, everybody should be able to compete for it, and the best will rise to the top.
Yeah, man, praising people and
No, I agree with that. I agree with that because there's the potential understanding that we were created equal. I mean, according to understanding of the only thing we can
Biology.
Biology, exactly. And not only that, our brains are the same size. We should have the same comprehension, the same understanding. But somehow we don't have the same chromosomes. That makes it. I mean, thank goodness I get to finally Spock. And I'm going to end this really quickly because I only have a few things to say. And I really just agree with a lot of everything everybody's saying, and I disagree with a lot of the concepts. But it's just, I just don't. There's no argument. It's literally just opening your mind to your own understanding and questioning yourself, because I think everybody's arguing with themselves upon the same concept of what we're just reiterating what we already know, and we're trying to debate ourselves. It's what it looks like.
Spy, you're not going to call this psychobabble? The one chance you get to actually be right about calling something psychobabble? Anyway, so I'll just point out, we're not cave people anymore.
Psychobabble?
In the U.S., the average carry...
Sorry, I was still going. I wasn't done. I know, but you cut me off first. You cut me off first. So thank you.
I was cut off first, but I'll let you go.
We're not cave people anymore, and the differences between sexes that would matter are being completely ruled out by the use of things like tools. Humans have been innovating tools for as long as we can remember.
You're a tool. I gotta go get cigarettes. I'll be back later.
So when it comes to using tools, there's not as much, like maybe a jackhammer, but most of these tools are made to make the job easier. And if that's the standard that we're living by, is making jobs easier, then that makes them more capable for women. Or women more.
You can't make fucking lifting bricks as
check it
easy.
out. Check it out. In the United States, just Google this. Google was failing, so ask ChatGPT, and it gives the references. In the United States, the average carry weight test requirement for female firefighters is 50 pounds. The average size of a victim is 20 to 47 years old and at least 199 pounds. So there's no way in hell that this woman who's being tested on essentially carrying a fat child.
But you do realize that even most men or women can't lift 150 pounds or drag them across the thing.
Most men.
Firefighters are trained. Firefighters are trained to work in.
I mean, well, you're trained, but if a woman's trained to do the same thing, they certainly will be able to. Muscles grow on any sex whatsoever. That is not a debate. The only thing that is a debate is how fast they do in the
Premier, you might want to hear what I have to say, because firefighters are trained not to go into buildings alone, not to save people's lives alone, not to be alone, because that's super dangerous. They work in teams so that nobody's carrying a body by themselves.
They communicate, right? And there's also different jobs. The majority of being a firefighter isn't rescuing people from buildings, anyways. But it is teamwork.
There's always a committee present during firefighting, y'all. Calm down.
They're communicating. They work in a team. There's various jobs you can be doing during a burning building. There's also just various jobs
Has anyone
firefighters do.
here been a firefighter or in the military? So Sarah?
I
Has
dated a
anyone been any
firefighter,
type
but
of
I haven't been in
first
a
responder?
firefighter.
You know, I'm gonna jump off. This is the most circular arguments.
Yeah, we weren't making much progress.
And
I know.
And we keep coming back to this. But what about? And I don't care.
Who said
but?
I would agree with that.
I love you, Sarah. You're great. You're awesome. I wish you luck tonight, but I can't take any more. It's just too much.
Yeah,
Joe
I
Mobley,
wish you
I'm gonna go
luck, too.
panel hop some. I don't know where I'll end up. I'm hopefully
I'm gonna
dead
get
soon.
back in bed.
I got to work on my airplane, but it's a lot of
what
fun.
about-
I really appreciate you having me up.
But what about
Same, Sarah. I'm gonna hop off. I got my pajama bottoms on, but I got out of bed for this, and I agree with Grid. It's just
What kind of pajama bottoms are we going with? SpongeBob?
I have my police academy pants on because I actually did this work that you guys are getting all these fanciful fake out, like never happened in real life things. In real life, when it's going down, whether it's a gunfight or a physical fight or a remove people from a situation, the women tend to kind of skirt aside. There's
Do a different
countless body
job.
cam video of this. Yeah, they should, but women shouldn't be. Women ought not do this. That's my claim. I will come back and defend it.
There's a lot of things
later.
women should. Women should not
before
try
you
to
leave,
make babies.
Before you leave, Mobley, who is a conservative in today's politics?
I don't even know what a conservative is. I just know Republicans and Democrats.
No,
Who's
Mobley.
a conservative in today's politics? Larry Arnn and Larry Elder. Have a good night.
All right.
Night,
That was
Joe.
awesome. Yeah.
And sorry I'm picking on you so much, Ghosty, but Sarah won't let me pick on her, so I have to.
Well, let's move to the next topic.
You're really into
Let's
picking
make
on
it
women,
fun.
aren't you?
I love women. They're
Metal
my
bands. Shut up. Best metal bands from 1975 to now, if you know it.
Black Sabbath.
I don't know.
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin's not metal.
Oh no, the best metal band of all time is
you say metal
actually
band? I thought you said rock.
the original creator, and I learned this in school, and his name was. He was actually a country singer. Can you somebody help me with this one?
Johnny Cash?
That might
Ernie
be it.
Ford?
Johnny Cash. I think she got it the first time. Who said that?
Me.
Ghosty.
No, Johnny Cash sounds right, but I might be wrong. But
I don't know. I don't know if he
But
did metal.
he sung country, and then he's the one that brought rock and roll into existence, and that's got to be the best rock and roll singer ever because he created rock and roll.
Elvis?
No, he was the king of rock and roll, but he wasn't the one that
Okay.
invented it. And the best one is the one that created it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, there's arguments over who created metal. Some people say Black Sabbath. Some people
No,
say it was before.
Metal. Excuse me, not you. I thought we were talking about rock, not metal. Metal came after rock.
Yeah.
So it's completely, and it came not too long after, but shortly after.
I'm not a big metal fan, but I'm gonna go with Megadeth.
Yeah.
I think Rob Zombie. I would say Rob Zombie was pretty killer on because you can understand what you were saying, but it was more demonic. There was another one I like that came out later, which was like Queens of the. No, they were heavy metal too. Korn, I think they're heavy metal. I know they're pretty. They're just
I like lots of smaller like doom metal bands, and then I like Acid Bath. If anybody has ever even heard of them, then there's like slower metal, Electric Wizard, Slayer, Pantera.
I know Pantera.
All those things.
Tenacious
D. I Hate God. Pretty crazy metal band.
The question was metal, like rock, right? Not heavy metal. Not heavy rock.
I think the question was, who's your favorite metal band from 1975 to some other
But
date?
I didn't think metal was created until the 1980s.
No, it started in the 70s, and arguably earlier.
I really thought that disco was in the 70s, so I'm sorry.
Iron Butterfly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Inagata. That was the first.
That is Iron of the Butterfly.
Yeah,
Iron Maiden.
Baby, don't you know that I love it? And I actually absolutely. That was the most creepiest freaking song in most of a lot of within my life of horror films. Not that
it was like a 15-minute
Sorry,
song.
guys.
It was wild.
But it was like they always use that song, and it was a good song until they put it in horror films.
Next question, and some of you may or may not know Spicoli, but if Spicoli found a fursuit, what would happen next?
He'd fuck it.
Furby disco.
I don't have no comment. I don't even know idea what that question. No answer.
He'd probably yell at it for a while.
Do you know who Carrie is? Spicoli?
No, I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. But he's always all over the place. But yeah.
He would yell at it for about 3 hours before he realized it's not responding to him.
It sounds like somebody I'd probably relate to a lot of people.
The next topic dropped in was from James Farley. He says, Sarah, I heard you might become a hurricane, which is true. Hurricane Sara, spelled S-A-R-A, is passing through or going to be passing through. And I'm kind of proud of this one, actually. Any thoughts on Hurricane Sara?
No.
Naming storms.
Is it made by the government?
I do like the Hurricane 5, though. I had no idea about Hurricane Sara.
Big Jake's Ranch comes in. He says, Harleys versus Hondas.
Harley.
And this is obviously a motorcycle question if you're into them.
It's not a motorcycle question. It's, do you want to drive a Harley, which is only a motorcycle, or drive a Honda, which also makes cars? So I'll choose Honda.
I'm probably going to go with Honda.
I'm going to go Honda because I don't want to lose my legs or my head, and I don't know how to drive. I don't have a license to drive a motorcycle.
That's
I'm
fair.
trying to start a biker gang, so I'm biased towards Harleys.
I watched a video today about bikers, like different occasions of bikers saving people's lives or like helping people. It was really like a heartwarming video.
Oh,
that's what I'm doing. I'm starting like a charitable biker gang.
Just a quick shout out. Naomi is saying, I will listen while I shower. That's kind of hot. Thinking that you're in the shower listening to this. Hey, make sure you wash all of your crevices, darling. Okay. Is it okay to spank your kids?
Yes. And it actually is extremely necessary. And you don't, I mean, in my state, you can't use objects, but even though they did in my time of my life, I think if I would have spanked more, I would have turned out better in my life. I would have not have come and just stumbled into my life. I absolutely agree with this. I think it is a necessity and is a contradiction of moral beliefs and biblical text.
Spanking is about the dumbest thing you can do. It lowers the IQ of your children because it doesn't teach them to learn on their own. It teaches them to be afraid of you
correctly if you're doing it improperly.
There's more effective behavioral modification techniques that you can use to better train
scientifically
your children than striking them. All you're doing is teaching them to strike other people when they disappoint them or out of anger, because 9 times out of 10 of the people that are
you don't spank your kids out of anger.
You're doing it out of anger, and it is wrong.
No, exactly. I've learned that. I know that. I have 2 kids, and I know exactly, and I know my limits, and that's why I like to use my hand, and I like the law that they put in my state where you use your hand. This way you know how much pressure, open hand on their, and then I threaten I'll take your pants down and do it on your bare butt. There's nothing against that too. Under your clothes and on your butt, it's a different thing, and it's only necessary when it is a very detrimental. You yourself have got to determine that, and you got to listen to other people that determine that for yourself. Nobody can teach you this.
It's only
you got to know what you've known in your life, know the limits on what you need to oppose upon yourself, so you don't end up like you shouldn't have been. I mean, or continue what you have become. So there's a balance in this reality that I really believe that it's just. I don't know. That was a good question. I like that question, but that's it's really up to the person to determine all that.
If you know the difference between discipline and abuse, the answer is yes. If you don't, then the answer is no.
Thumbs up to that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's stupid. I find that's dumb. There's no good reason.
You're stupid.
To hit your children. No. The idea that there's a reasonable time to hit your children. It's what is ghost?
Okay, I don't know.
You know the difference between discipline and abuse?
Yeah, I do know the difference. I'm not saying that spanking.
What do you think? What do you think happens when you touch a burning stove? Didn't God spank you?
No, Ow, no, the stove burned you. God didn't do that again, you moron.
So you'd prefer the fire to punish your child than you punishing your own child?
No, I'm telling you, common sense. You do something, it hurts, you stop doing it. It's literally, you can't teach your child everything. Common sense, like, ow, you fall down. Well, I don't want to do that. That hurts. I'll try not to fall down anymore.
So, caveman,
you bump your knees. You don't want to bump your knees. You touch the fire, it hurts.
One at a time, boys.
I'm going to end.
All right, next question. Who's taking what supplements? Anybody taking any supplements?
Flintstones vitamins.
I'm taking a Heineken supplement right now.
0%.
I take cranberry pills.
Cranberry pill. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
For like urinary tract stuff. Yeah.
I take a happiness supplement
as he drinks.
Good band too.
That's fair. Best Olivia Newton-John song.
Physical.
Wanna get physical. Let's get in a physical. Does anybody
I think
else
the first time I saw that was on the Disney
don't
Channel,
know.
and I was so weirded out.
That's fair.
It's a trick question. One doesn't exist.
Fair enough. Jeff Bader asks, could there ever have been nothing?
Maybe. Who's asking?
That's a hard question. I can't even answer that. I mean, I can't even fathom that there could have never been nothing.
I don't think so.
No.
I think if there's something, there probably
Because
couldn't
the
be
king
nothing.
of it, just the concept of something is the absence of nothing.
My question is, why is there anything and not just nothing?
And that makes the same thing as
Because
since there's
cosmic
something, that means
evolution.
that there obviously wasn't nothing.
Everybody knows the cosmos evolves. Like stars and planets just evolve from nothing. Duh. Happens all the time.
And then when we die, we go right back to nothing. Coincidence.
Yeah, God was always there.
All right, Dr. Peter Venkman, a hero or a class 1 perv. See, I don't even know who that is.
Hero, Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah, Peter Venkman.
Venkman. Peter
Yeah,
Venkman.
Peter Venkman. Okay, wait. And Rachel Tomato. Peter Venkman.
I'm revoking your 80s card, Sarah.
I pronounced.
I don't remember that. I've just watched it not even a month ago. Watched both versions of the Ghostbusters. I don't think he was a hero. He definitely and that no, I don't see no perv. You might look him as it maybe, but I don't know. I don't see no perv in there.
No, if you go back and watch the first Ghostbusters, that dude was a skeevy little perv, and he was also a hero. So he was both.
Really? I didn't really.
He was no perv. He even drugged her unconscious, and he didn't do anything to her. So he's an honorable, good man.
No, he was floating 4 feet from her bed.
She was unconscious, so he could have done anything he wanted to her, and he didn't. So he's a good man.
I know, but of course, who wants to have intercourse with a demon?
Most guys I know.
Me, I'll do that.
All right, go ahead.
Turkey or ham?
I'm gonna shut up now.
Ham.
Turkey. I just bought more. I mean, ham is good, but it gets tiresome. It lasts longer by a way in the fridge.
Both, and call it a club.
All right.
All of the above. I'm a meat eater.
I asked, where are all the white women at?
I found them. I found 2 of them. Hey, ladies.
They're over at Tyrone's house.
Oh Lord. Are we social media free press, the new press? Therefore, top 6 mainstream gone soon?
No.
No. They'll gain new ownership and change their ways.
No, the government needs a captured press in order to distribute the propaganda. There's no way that they're going to get rid of those.
No, they're not going to get rid of
the thing is, like, millennials and younger generations don't have cable. They don't watch cable. They all use streaming. So when the boomers are gone and there's nobody like watching cable TV, those channels might run out of business.
Well, that didn't stop the government funding NPR, and nobody listens to the radio anymore.
You're crazy, Mike.
Future presidential candidates need to learn how to do dances on TikTok, is what she's trying to tell you.
I don't like TikTok. I don't download that app. I know. As soon as everybody told me that was hacking my computer or my phone, I said, "Heck with TikTok." I mean, I was like, "Oh crap!" No, I mean, I believe the media, and then it's like, "Oh, what? Trump's now down from TikTok." So freaking confusing.
Also, the press doesn't matter. The Uniparty controls all of politics, and there is no right wing, so it's all irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Hey, Ghosty, name one person on the right wing.
We are all relevant, and if we stick together and don't sit and argue with one another, everything will end up being relevant.
I think you tried Trump earlier, and I shot that one down. So try again. Can you name one person on the right wing?
You haven't asked me this.
I thought it was you. It must have been someone else. Go ahead.
Name one person on the right wing.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Tim Pool or something.
Tim Pool's a left winger, isn't he?
Right wing. I need more explanation. I can't put somebody in a position they don't exist in.
Tim Pool's a left winger. He got popular because of Occupy Wall Street, and
he was on Vice like years ago. He is not a left winger today.
Yeah, man,
left wing.
I don't know. He thinks right.
He's not on Vice anymore. That's what I'm saying. He's like totally different now. What about Ben Shapiro? Ben Shapiro.
I think he's
there
right.
You go.
I think he's right.
He's not a right winger.
I know. I think he's at least he makes sense when I listen to his conversations.
What's the difference between a neocon and a Democrat, Ghosty?
One's a conservative and one's a liberal.
No.
One of them
What's
bets
considered?
on.
Hold on. Let me put an overlay up. We got a newbie up here. RBKH. Can you voice confirm?
Sounds like you're a porn bomber.
Scary. It's a monster.
Sounds like you're showing your
Dracula?
That's kind of weird.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
I would,
The
Dracula.
devil.
I would.
Satan be gone.
Are you here to hang out, or are you just gonna be stupid? All right, question answered.
I think you got your answer. So the
All right,
difference
my
is
apologies
whether
for the
they
rude description.
invest in
No worries. That's better than
one
watching
war
TV.
machine or the other war machine. They always bet on both sides anyway, so that they always win. But so, like, if you're a Democrat, you support like one endless war, and if you're a neocon, you just support the other endless war. But they actually support each other.
Yeah,
They
it took
just
me a
don't want
long
to tell
time to
anybody.
figure that
So
out.
I guess I'm
used to be a
neutral.
Democrat.
I only support the winning party because I'm smart.
Do you consider all modern wars endless wars?
I hope not. I mean, I
The
hope
ones
not.
that America keeps on going, yeah, totally.
It's not
What wars
normal.
are we in?
Russia,
I believe in-
Ukraine,
We're not in
Israel,
Ukraine.
Middle East,
We're not
Yeah, we
in
are.
Israel.
Yeah, we are.
China.
Yeah, we
There's
are.
no. Technically, he's not stating it, but we have supported them, and that's where
Yeah.
once you fund a drug cartel, you're in the war.
Our
Once
funding
you fund
is
a
with
war, you're in the war.
Our funding is mostly with old weapons that are taking up storage facilities
That's
anyways, that we weren't going to use.
I
That's
know,
the
but
majority of the
doesn't matter.
funding.
Does that give an excuse for us to sell weapons to a country that we support? That still means that we're participating in a war, and
We're helping our allies.
Yeah,
We've had-
your allies.
Which ones are allies?
If you help your allies, that means you're helping them fight a war, which means that we're in the war. I don't care. Nobody can argument. Oh, we
don't have American soldiers.
Yeah,
Like-
it doesn't matter.
Yes,
we're
we do.
still in a war with whatever dollars you put in. It's like, oh, I wasn't involved in that conspiracy. I didn't participate because I didn't physically exist in it. Doesn't make sense in my opinion.
Ghosty, you're a lefty, right? Ghosty, you're a lefty, right?
Yeah.
So I challenge you to go to a left-wing website called antiwar.com and listen to what they have to say and look at the resources that they have to challenge the propaganda that you've obviously consumed because you're unaware of the fact that we do have troops all over the world in small contingencies and doing more than just sending old weapons, but we're providing logistical support, all kinds of things that are much more than what you're told in the mainstream media.
I don't watch mainstream media.
Yeah, I know, but the narratives that you're getting from wherever you're getting them does not include all the information. So it's not just the mainstream media. Whatever the media sources you are, antiwar.com. It's a super left-wing site, but they do anti-war. So I became a Democrat because I was super anti-war, and then I realized that they were lying to me, and I stopped. So that's and then I'm not even a Republican right now. I'm just homeless.
Right. Well, America, like just being American, just as America, like we're gonna be involved in like a lot of world conflicts.
Why?
Including
that's like
the ones
the
we
nature. That's the nature of our country, like it or not. We're kind of the like all of our ally nations rely on us. We have the strongest military in the world. We put the most money into our military. We have the best equipment in the entire world. We are the world's arms dealer, whether we like it or not.
There you go. You figured it out. That's it, Ghosty. We're the arms dealers. That's why we create all these wars and keep them going constantly, so we can make money.
We created the petrodollar back in freaking almost 100 years ago. It's close to, not yet, but getting close to it. Off the gold standard.
So I don't know, like what politician or whatever. I don't think any of that is going to change that.
You're right.
Exactly. It doesn't matter who you vote for. You're voting left wing. They're all left wing.
That's not true. You do have a choice. No, so you're taking the nihilist stance. What difference does it make? It's not going to change. But
you can vote for Tweedledum or Tweedledummer. That's your choice. Which one are you voting for?
I'm not a nihilist. I haven't given up.
No, you don't give up. Don't give up.
You can vote for Emperor Phi, but that vote would go to waste.
How about be Bible thumper before you be Tweedledummer?
No, so you don't have to choose the lesser of two evils. You can make a third path. You can do things. You can do things locally.
Go vote for Ron Paul and see what difference that makes in the American political system.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. That's ridiculous. He's like,
that's exactly what you just said. You want a third choice. There was your third choice.
I just said it. Bible thumper.
So locally here where I am for the last decade, I've built up the local Libertarian Party, and we've run candidates several times, and actually have.
Don't even get me started on the LP, dude.
So
Wrong room.
I've made a third option because I wanted a third option. I didn't choose nihilism. I like you did.
Hey there, Sarah's biggest fan. Is Chase Oliver a libertarian?
No, Chase Oliver's a leftist.
See, I told you they're all left wing. There is no other choice.
They're
all left wing.
President isn't the only thing on the ballot. There are way more important.
Is there anything more important than president of the United States?
Yeah, there is.
Local.
What position is more important?
Basically, global peace. I mean, there's a lot of things more important than the president.
Name something you can vote for that's more important than president.
Your local offices, all of your local offices, but you can actually impact
your local office.
Yeah, you can
write your local congressman. He'll make a difference.
You can't influence the president, but you can influence your local elected officials by going and talking to them.
I mean,
you're right. I can vote for my local mayor and get that pothole finally fixed. Now the world's problems will be solved.
It all depends on the circumstance and the situation. Right now, there might not be anything more important to vote for than the president of the United States, because that's all we have to vote for. But when it comes to a circumstance of what's more important to vote for, that is when it becomes a thing. It's like, what now? I don't think there's anything we can vote for. But we just have to have. Our vote is our own actions.
It doesn't
matter who you vote for anyway.
These smaller, these more local elections officials that you vote for, that will actually change your life if you want to make a difference. That actually impacts you, and those are the people that end up running for higher positions in government, that end up running for president eventually. So ideally, if everybody cared more about their local elections and were putting people they actually wanted in office, they would eventually creep to the top of presidency. So that's kind of how you change the government from the inside out, I guess, in a way. I'm sure they have ways to combat this, but
if we lived in original America, that might be true, but in modern America, it's top down. So the feds have power over the state. The state has the power over the local, so it doesn't matter which little local guy you pick.
How did marijuana legalization happen, IFI? It was because the state of California and the state of Colorado decided, you know what, even though there's a federal law that says we can't do this, it's legal here, and they showed the middle finger to the feds because it's not top down, it's bottom up.
Hey, fan, which mayor can I vote for to end the military-industrial complex?
That's a totally different jurisdiction, and that's not what I'm talking about. Ghosty explained why it's important to vote locally. She was very articulate in her explanation, and you just completely ignored it.
Can't vote for the military. The president.
Which president? Hey, Premier, which president can I vote for to end the military-industrial complex?
it's not going to change overnight. That's the problem.
Hopefully, I mean, I would say.
Will it change over decades, Ghosty? Has it changed since Vietnam?
You got to
change since.
No, all I got to say is
the Middle East.
You got to get on your feet. Stop talking about what's wrong with America.
I'm on my feet.
No, you got to tell people what they need to know and how they need to solve it.
I'm trying to tell Ghosty, but she keeps voting left wing, and I keep telling her that's the wrong answer.
You just said yourself it doesn't make a difference.
It can make a difference, Ghosty. If you want to form a little community of Amish, libertarians or something like that, we can take the country back, but it's going to be a slow, painful process.
There's no such thing as an Amish.
Next topic. I'm already done with this.
Yeah, Sarah doesn't like politics, guys.
Why are the majority of men's hobbies red flags to women?
Can I get the next topic?
Hunting. Anybody can have the next topic. Hunting, gaming. Are you saying come up with the next topic?
Yeah, that come up.
We have a whole list. You should have been here the first.
No, I just got one simple topic that my dad brought up to my attention. I haven't had time to Google it. I just got my dad. I talked to him for 2 hours.
Now, quickly.
Go ahead, dude. Say it. Spit it.
Oh, we were just talking. He said that. Did you know that the news just said that we were actually involved and they have proof of extraterrestrial and they just admitted it? And I'm
Bullshit.
like, what the
It was a
hell?
hearing. It was a hearing. So there was a hearing about UFOs again. This happened last year too. But yesterday or the day before, they held a hearing about this. Basically, the government is alleged to have a bunch of like thousands or at least hundreds of high-res images of UFOs, and they have a lot of intelligence about this. This hearing, there was another hearing about it like last year too, but.
Why do aliens only pose for government cameras?
I was wondering now if it was related.
That's a psyop.
I think you saw.
Why do aliens only pose for government cameras? Doesn't every human being have a little camera on their phone? And if there are aliens around anywhere, everybody would be snapping pictures of them.
I have one question for you.
The technologies.
Isn't our nation built upon one nation under an alien? You know, and my dad was like, "Oh, you're just trying to make a joke of the media." And I'm like, no, we were built upon a nation under one alien.
So,
what he's asking is, Ghosty, are you a lizard person? Yes or no?
No, I don't believe that there's lizard people.
What do you think what do you think aliens are? They're lizard people. Obviously.
No, they're not. What the hell? Lizard people don't exist, man. Put your tin cap back on. No,
I didn't hear Ghosty say no, so I'm going to assume she is a lizard person.
Aliens certainly do exist.
I don't know. I'm related to lizards, right? So.
See, Illuminati confirmed.
According to Darwin's evolutionary theory, which he then said, this kind of makes no fucking sense.
None of the men
I bet you also believe in Freemasons too, don't you, buddy?
All I'm saying is question everything you think you know and reassess it because you might be wrong. And I'm going to do the same thing because I might be wrong.
Are Freemasons hiding under your bed right now?
You don't believe in the Illuminati?
Oh, I know the Illuminati exists, but they renamed it to the Economic Forum. Oh, I got educated.
I think there's some type of Illuminati. I don't think it's the exact Illuminati theory that most people think of, but I do think there is probably some type of world elite organization that controls most things and has some type of knowledge. Some type of knowledge that other people they don't want having. Yeah. It might be in the Vatican.
No,
just putting that out there.
No, I agree. She's right. It might be in the Vatican. There might be a whole bunch of knowledge that we don't know. Because certain forces don't want us to have knowledge because we know for a fact knowledge is power. And understanding of where you come from and what your morals should be and who you should worship would greatly impact the delusion the world wants to put upon you to control you. So that is certainly a factor.
So the only thing that the elites have in terms of knowledge that most people don't is that they read The Prince and they understand Machiavellian principles. That's the only thing that they have that we don't.
And old money. Don't forget old money.
Wait, how would you know? How would you know what they have if we don't have it?
Because I've been doing politics for 10 years. I'm a third generation political family.
So you're part of the Freemasons? Is that what you're trying
to
tell us?
My dad was a Freemason.
I don't think
his dad was a Freemason.
I don't think the Freemasons. I don't think the Freemasons are involved. But
the Illuminati ate them. It's okay. They've moved on.
I mean,
there is a group of elite, but it's real
boring. Why are the majority of men's hobbies red flags to women? Example: hunting, gaming, gym, etc.
Because of toxic masculinity.
I don't find them to be red flags.
I don't either. I think gaming specifically, lots of gamers tend to have bad. I don't know. They like put their whole life into it. Where like lots of like the typical like gamer stereotype is like they have like no hygiene. They're overweight. Their room's a mess. They spend all their time gaming. They have like no other hobbies and stuff like that. So I think women probably get these ideas of gamers. Like my boyfriend is a gamer. He was like a professional at one point. But so I have a different view of that. But I also think some women get jealous of men spending time on hobbies that aren't themselves.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like the program, and I like to play games, video games.
From my experience, women like it when you go to the gym and go hunting and do things that get you away from them because they want their space.
Well, there's all different types of women.
Oh, certainly. I wouldn't want to tell you about the Wicked Witch of the,
What is the best thing to grow at home, and why is it tomatoes? Any gardeners out there?
Oh my goodness! My mom just made a huge bowl of salsa, and I still got tomatoes on the thing. That's just fun. You want to see them? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I just made a huge. My mom just threw some serious great tomatoes.
I've always wanted to grow my own pumpkins.
So look, I'm gonna spare you with my recent purchase of food from the store. The store we got discovered. The tomato.
Oh, cherry! Are those cherry or grape?
No. Just she had to harvest them early, but she made a huge bowl of salsa out of damn near fucking all of them. And oh my goodness, look how great this looks. Only got like 2 more days to eat this. It's so good.
That's fair. All right, next topic. What is conservatoria, Hi-Fi?
I gotta put my phone down for a second so I can put the lid back on.
Hi-Fi? Hi-Fi's taking a shit. All right, topic. Why do women love true crime? Do you like true crime, Ghosty?
I recently got into true crime during the pandemic, and now I'm like I'm like really in it. I actually want to start a true crime channel.
We can hook you up with Mel from Cold Truth. She does a true crime thing, and maybe she could kind of point you in the different direction.
Oh, that'd be cool. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get you two paired up maybe on the next. She was gonna join the last ladies' night. You obviously missed the ladies' night, but
my mom watches religiously True Court TV or something all the time. She's telling me about all these crazy.
My mom likes that too, like the Judge Judy and crap kind of stuff. It cracks me up.
I actually like Judge Judy too. She's great.
Well, let's ask Ghosty, since you do watch it and you are like invested in it to a high degree. Why do you, as a woman, love true crime?
So I don't know what about being a woman specifically is why I like it, but I like it personally because I just like finding like the injustices of the world and trying to make the world a better place. So anytime where something heinous happens and people can't find justice is something I just care about. I think that's interesting. Also, I like psychology. That might be, I think lots of women have an interest in psychology, so that might be a reason why women tend to like true crime.
That makes sense. I can roll with that.
Because they like the bad boys.
The bad boys.
I watch it because I just want to be able to get away with murder.
But you're not a woman, and the question was to women.
I was teasing you anyway.
Spiders. Are spiders scary, or are they our friends?
Friends.
Depends on which one.
Jinx.
And I believe you already had your time to go over this with Flow State.
Yeah, I spanked him. He learned his lesson.
Why songs that tell stories are better? Do you guys like songs that tell stories, or do you just like music that's just music?
Stories.
I mean, I like both. I like music for music, and I like songs that tell stories. It's just like the art of it.
I prefer music. Sometimes you don't want to know what the lyrics say.
I don't want a song that never ends. That would freaking drive me insane.
This is a song that never
Shut up!
ends, and it goes on and on, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Even non-lyrical music can tell a story. There's some old classical music that is designed to walk you through some sort of emotional story that you're supposed to have. I mean, storytelling is really, makes music more meaningful.
Yeah. if you essentially, if you like storytelling music, you probably like country music because a lot of country music is that is the concept of country music, right?
Country music came before rock music. Country
90s
music,
rap too.
90s
no, country.
rap.
Everything came
Yeah.
from country. It went into rock, and then rock went into it split off into heavy
Oh,
rock
blues.
in almost about the same timeline, if I remember correctly.
I think the blues went into rock more than country did. I think country went
Well, I
into
don't know
blues.
if it's a
Blues went
different
into
Pretty
rock.
much anything besides pop
blues
music.
was just a break up. Yeah, blues is its genre, and it is. But it was
Country
I wouldn't
music
figure that was
peaked
more
with Ernie
country.
Ford. Changed my mind.
No, I got a C+ in freaking country music, the art of music. I took it as a class to substitute some credits I needed in college. And Elvis
Songs
Presley.
like "Achy Breaky Heart" make me want to end
Don't
myself.
sell my heart, my achy breaky heart.
Yeah, and
I'm not a country music fan, to be honest.
Write those
That's me.
songs, which is
I want to hear. I puke. Hold on. Hold on. And if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart might blow up and kill this man.
There's only like 5 really.
I got friends in low places where the whiskey runs and the beer chases. Yeah.
All right, best holiday. What's your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving, no debate.
Really?
Halloween.
Premiere?
Christmas is the best.
No, hold on.
You're
I'm
not
thinking.
12
I don't know.
anymore.
What is my best holiday? New Year's.
That's fair.
If you
I
have
think-
kids, it's Christmas.
I think my favorite holiday is Mother's Day because it's like I have a excuse to send the children elsewhere and say, this is my day
Oh my God.
and I'm doing it my way. Nobody interrupt me. Nobody leave me alone. But all the other holidays, all of the other holidays for me are just more obligation, more things to do, more stuff I have. Like I have.
And it should be the Passover, by the way. But
What about
it
4th of
should
July?
absolutely be the Passover.
I have to lug kids up and go watch fireworks and bring your bug spray and pack something to eat and drive somewhere and sit in traffic and walk here and who forgot their water bottle?
Right.
Like this. Where's my sprinkler? It's like for me,
Right?
I view holidays as just I love doing it for the kids, don't get me wrong, but in a subtle way it's very much
You know what? It's like a repetitive, just like Easter, like hiding all the eggs and the kids finding them. It's just fun. It's a nutritional thing, and that's the whole thing. As I was thinking, fudge. It was really the Passover was my favorite holiday.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, New Year's is just a happy. I actually made it for another year in life.
Hey,
It's
Sarah.
not really my favorite, but I think Passover and Easter
I'll wait
would
till he's
be
done.
the actual Passover would be my most important.
Okay. Premiere, you are coming in like a robot. I don't know if you changed your mic settings or your feed into something else.
There's probably a little feedback because my headphones died. I'm gonna bounce right before I leave. Ghosty, I know I probably didn't change your mind on anything, but did I make you rethink some of your positions?
You made me think about why I'm liberal.
All right, that's all I hope to accomplish. I'll catch you on. I had fun, guys. See y'all around.
Bye. All right. Why is drama the YouTube streamer's choice of drug of choice?
Well, it makes sense because drama is what do you think? They made a whole network on TV.
Did you change your mic?
USA.
You're coming in. Hold on, Premiere. Did you like move your mic or like are you sitting?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna. Sometimes this happens on my phone, so I'll just rejoin you. Just add me back up. I'll have to leave. I think that's the only way to fix it because I just tried to fix it the other way.
Sounds good. All right. What do you think, Ghosty?
Yeah, I think it's like reality TV and people are just, I don't know, they like that for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. How about you, Anson?
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on that. That's just the drama thing. It's like the true crime. Women like drama, guys like drama. People that it's simple. Just dealing with other people's problems is kind of what we've all been raised to do.
That's
Does
fair.
it sound like it's messed up? It sound good?
Yeah, it sounds better. Thank you.
I mean, anytime that happens, let me know. I'll just leave and just do that.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Why do you think drama is the YouTube streamer's drug of choice?
Because drama is what we're used to, and it's the most useful and relatable concept of reality.
That's fair. I think, to me, a lot of it is somebody said it's cheap and easy, and I agree with that sentiment. I think, especially if you choose that to be your content, to me, that's a lazy way of moving about to a degree, right? Depending on how you're reporting in on it. Like if you're making it matter of fact and reporting in, and it's part of what you're doing, and you're not adding to the drama, you're just simply discussing it. I think that's one thing. But I think that a lot of like Just Tree 411, I stepped across her stream earlier today, and I couldn't help but to think the same thing. Like her streams are always devoted to like talking shit about other streamers, and that is her choice, right? But I think that becomes, it's very hard to top it, because once you hit like an extreme piece, like you always have to keep going with that. And to me, thriving on like derogatory comments, it probably wins in terms of
it won't give you respect.
But like, to me, it's like that to me is like cheap content. I think you could put something better together and report in a different way.
I think it's also like nowadays people have smaller social lives. Like people aren't going out as much and interacting with people, so we just have less overall like human interaction in general. So, but we like thrive on that as people, right? So now we're just getting it from the internet.
Yeah, something along the lines of, like, I have this theory, right, that the HOA lady, she's bored out of her freaking mind. She's probably some humdrum accountant that's bored with her own life, so she makes her version of fun is causing chaos in her community and handing out HOA fees and fines and letters all day, every day, because she's got nothing else better to do with her time. Right? It's like a boredom factor. I'm bored, therefore cause chaos. And I think that's like, that holds true to a lot of pieces, especially if we are socially lacking, a lot to do with the pandemic, but a lot also because we're just kind of more recluses now. I think that it's another way to get out, socialize, and feel like you're invested in something because you're stirred up in the drama, or you're engaging in some kind of drama and you're formulating some kind of stupid opinion to it. And then I also think that inevitably, like, that boredom factor leads to, I just had a whole thought on it. It like leads to a whole process of like, people are giving me attention because I'm having drama. Right? So if you're only getting attention because you have drama, then what does that do when you're not getting attention again? You're going to go cause more shit, right? And dive in. That's why I like to, I just try to avoid it at all costs, right? I choose not to engage. I choose to just ignore. So because I don't want that kind of attention. The attention I want is people coming here for a show, the content we put together, things like that. So I think that there's a difference in all of those aspects. And hold on just a second. Let me do this. Nathan, is that you? Nathan?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Do we have another delay with you again?
Yeah, this fucking thing.
All right, we'll catch you next round, okay? We love you, Nathan. All right. Sorry about that. It sucks because it always does it to him. All right. Topic is worst date you've ever had.
I can't even. I can't. I've had multiple worse days. There's nothing worse than multiple days.
What's the one that like you cringe when you think about how bad it was?
The day that I don't know. I mean, I could relate to both. The most recent, probably, would that be easier to pinpoint? And could somebody else go first before me?
Sure.
So I can think about it.
So what do you define as a date? Like, does it count if you're like girlfriend, you've been with a woman for a while, then you go out to like some sort of event and she breaks up with you while you're out somewhere? Does that count?
I think if you had planned a planned engagement to
Yeah.
either go get dinner or meet up at the park and go for a walk or whatever the case may be, I think that could be considered a date.
Yeah, so I was at a music festival with my girl, and this was years and years ago, and she broke up with me at the music festival, so I left, and I was trying to leave, but I was double parked in, so the way that I went out, I drove over some railroad tracks and tore up the underside of my car and couldn't get out, so I had to go back into the music festival and basically wait until like other people moved so I could get out. But I had to pay to get back into the music festival because I didn't get my hand stamped on or get the wristband or whatever on the way out because I was just leaving. So that was probably the worst date experience I've had.
That is terrible. Ghosty?
So I haven't actually like been on that many like dates, but so I guess like just hanging out, I'll just like say that's like a date. So I was pretty young. I was like just out of high school. And it was my first year in community college, and there was this like older guy who was in my class who I thought was cute, but he turned out to just be a loser. And he invited me to his house to hang out, and it turned out like he just wanted to have sex or whatever, but I didn't want to have sex, so I ended up drinking a fuck ton till I ended up like throwing up, and he just kicked me out, and so I was just like outside of his house throwing up really sick, and I had to call my friends to pick me up.
Oh God.
Yeah, good times.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah, it was really mean about it. But I mean, looking back, like I guess it makes sense. I was just too young to like understand what was happening, but
makes sense. Premier, did you think of one?
So this is like the worst date, right? Date, not day. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I thank goodness I asked you, because like worst day of my life is really a huge endeavor. The worst date of my life, that's easy to, because that's actually makes it more difficult. It's the more date of my life, because I have not really had I've had good dates. I've never had a bad date. It just always ended badly.
Mm-hmm. How's it ending?
I don't really want to.
Oh, well, that's fair. You don't have to
Most recently, it's just literally, it was the other baby mama that caused the drama, and it's more complex than the worst day. That's the worst day of my life, not the date. The date, I've had great dates. Everybody, I thought everybody was great on every date, So I've never had a worst date with meeting a person. It always seemed really positive and great. I don't recall a worst date meeting a person.
Well, I think Uncle Guns tops everything. He says, I met my second wife when she shot me. Lucky I was wearing a vest. A Cambodian hottie stabbed me with an oyster knife. Jesus, Uncle Guns.
Oh my God.
What kind of women are you dating? Oh, Lord have mercy. Strangest thing that's ever happened to you?
All right, I can go first?
Sure.
Great, because I tell this to everybody. The strangest thing that ever happened to me is I went up to record the meteor shower, and I had my friends like this was in 1999 or right before, it was 1999. And I was I went right where I lived. It was in Selah, Washington. And I stood up on that's at the time. This was over 20 freaking years ago, but this is the most craziest thing. I put my camera up to the sky, and the camera that my friend loaned me, which was videotaped at the time, it was literally a freaking cassette, a full cassette player in his videotape. And I tried to record the stars, the meteors in the sky, because this camera was top notch in the days and age. It could record the sky, and I knew it could. It stopped working. It stopped working all of a sudden, and then it was like it wasn't aliens or anything like that, but it just stopped working. And then when I was trying to figure out what the heck, because I've already had it working, I knew I was technologically inclined at the time. I knew what the hell, it doesn't make no sense. And then the whole freaking orchard that I was sitting in lit up like lightning. I was like, there's no lightning in the sky. And I look up and go, and I see a big ball of freaking flames flying freaking like the Starship Enterprise across the sky in the distance above my head, with a trail that looked like it had to have been through our atmosphere, and with two things that look, that's what I describe. It's just balls. I can draw it on paper if you wanted me to, because it's imprinted in my mind. Because I literally could not get I still couldn't get the camera to work even after that. I don't know what that means or what happened, but I think it did end up later getting it working, but I don't remember it. But that was the most. That's it. That's all, end of story, because nobody remembers any time I looked at it and everything.
That's fair.
November 7th, still good.
What?
It's expiration. I cost it anyway, because that's something wrong with that thing.
No, it's just because it's expiration.
Ghosty to you. Are you muted?
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. My bad. There's a lot of strange things, but the strangest I can remember off the top of my head is, I think I saw a ghost one time, maybe? I don't know. Me and my friends all saw the same thing, and we like pointed at it, and we just like turned around and ran, and we were like, what the fuck was that? And it was really weird.
That would be kind of strange.
Yeah.
How about you,
It's very
Ann?
hard to explain.
Yeah, I because then it's like, did I see that or did I not see that? Did we all see that collectively?
I would have thought I was just seeing things, but then I turned around and my friend was like pointing at it too, and we both just like had this instinct to run away from it immediately. It was really tiny, but yeah, it was weird.
Makes sense. Anson?
Acid.
True.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. All right. Well, that was easy. Bad experience with food. What was it?
Pinto beans.
Pinto beans.
Pinto beans. Yeah, I was like 10 years old, and I was being babysat by some people, and they insisted that I eat these overcooked pinto beans, and I ate them, and I threw them right up back on the plate that they served them to me on. It was disgusting. So.
Yep.
Peppers, hot peppers.
Hot peppers? I love
peppers. I ate all my live stream, and it went on. I ate whatever the guy gave me. I think it was a ghost pepper or some other green pepper, and it was worse than the California. Everything spicy. He sent me a kit of a whole bunch of peppers. And and that was the most regrettable thing I've ever did. Because my kids were trying to say, should I call 911? I'm like, no, you're fine. It just hurts. Literally the aftermath on your stomach is so bad.
That's fair. Ghosty?
I got food poisoning one time from meatballs.
Meatballs?
Yeah.
Was it at a restaurant or like somebody?
It was.
homemade?
I was on my lunch break at work, and I got food from like the buffet at the giant grocery store next door.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, it was from Giant.
Oh, that sucks. Mine would be it was a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Oh, that sucks. That's a good sign.
I love Philly cheesesteaks. And this was when I was bartending and I ordered it to have as my lunch, right? And you barely get time to eat to begin with if you're bartending, right? So the sandwich came and I was like, "Oh, this is my food." And I took it to the back and I was like scarfing it down because I was just so hungry. And lo and behold, I start gagging. I'm like, no, please, God, no. And I reach in, and this long, long, long black hair comes out, and I can feel it coming up my throat and everything.
Oh, that is so gross.
I threw up in the trash can. I was done. Like I couldn't stop.
Where'd that hair come from? That's what I wanna know.
Thought of it. That's what I wanted because I was like, I definitely don't have black hair. And it was black, like jet black. And all I wanted to do was puke. And I did several times in the pulled the trash can to the back. And I'm just like, bleh. And I kept thinking about it because I could still like feel it there, even though it's not there. But then the thought of it, and I just,
What's really funny is I really think if nobody used their hands, sanitizer, or anything, that it would be, this is just my opinion. I think that if everybody were to not be so concerned about germs wouldn't be so much of a problem. But it's all about the major pathogens. It's just a way to combat the major deadly ones. And that you can't do that without. So I understand it. I understand that.
Hair isn't necessarily dirty, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't.
it can certainly
it's more
carry
just
bacteria.
the feeling of hair in your mouth and
Well, there's
going
something
in-
about it
It's really
too.
worse
It's
than
like,
pulling a dead fly out of your burger. It's gross.
I'd honestly be okay with the fly.
No, hair is gross. It's like, and then when you're pulling it, you can feel it coming out from the back of your throat. That's got to be the grossest fucking feeling. I don't care what it is, and I've done that.
Last one, and then we'll shut this shit down. You
All
were
right.
going back home after a long day at work and accidentally hit a car and caused damage. Do you leave a piece of paper on the car with your contact information?
Yeah, my mom's done that before. I'd probably do that nowadays because there's like so many cameras around anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
The moral of the thing is, of course you fucking do, because karma is a bitch.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to.
Well, I don't know. I would first try and figure out if I can look around and see if there are places around where the person might be located and try and find them first. And then if I can't, put a note on there.
Well, that's yeah, I would do the same thing. I agree with you. And given the situation,
Yeah.
that would be more realistic.
Naomi has to go. Sorry, Naomi has to go save her chickens. There's coyotes out there trying to get to her chickens right now. She's got to get the boom boom stick so she can go take care of that. Boom boom.
But can I say one of the most crazy things before we leave that I really forgot about when I was a kid?
Yeah, sure.
Even though when I was younger, it was literally the fact that when I was a kid, it was like, I saw that star come across the sky, which I'm not even saying that it was, it was a factual thing that nobody ever related to. Nobody could ever prove. No, I never heard anything. It was crazy. It's all just my words. But I had another thing happen in my life, probably about exactly 10 years earlier, that I can duly note. And I remember when I was about 12 years old or 11 years old, and I was in a crisis residential center in my county, and I literally we were planning on running away, and we were planning on it, completely planning on it. And I knew the dude, and we've done it. We've actually ran away a couple times from this facility, and I was a problem child when I was a kid. Don't get me wrong, and so we're planning on running away. And he took another friend that I didn't really know very well, because I ran away with my friend. I don't want to say names to protect the innocent or the guilty or the dead, but either way. just protect everything else, I'm just gonna just change any name. So we got my friend D and my friend B, and so he's my new friend, and so we're all ready to run away from this facility. We've already planned it out. It's super easy. Like, we're kids, we can get away with this. We do it all the time. Well, I come down the very day with a huge fever of 103 degrees. And then literally within 12 hours after they left, my fever was gone. I don't understand where the hell it came from. I couldn't hold down food, my fever, I couldn't go nowhere. Turns out, and then everything moves on for a month or so later. I don't remember the timeline exactly, but I find out I went back to CRC, and the lady says, "Do you remember that guy that you were about ready? You were always hanging out with? He was shot in the back wearing your jacket you gave him."
Ooh.
So honestly, I don't know what one's more inspiring to somebody, or if it's the craziest thing in their life. But I've had two experiences that are eye-opening to what the heck am I understanding in life. I think everybody has had these experiences, and they're not comfortable with telling people about it. And I think everybody should be comfortable with telling any awkward situation in their life, because that just enlightens other people to the understanding of a higher understanding.
I disagree. I think that if you're delusional, you should keep it to yourself, or either figure out what the truth is.
Well, honestly, the truth is what I just told you. And if you think that the truth I told you was a lie, why would I don't have to lie to kick it.
I didn't say it was a lie.
You just told me what I said was delusional, and delusional means that I'm not telling the truth.
No.
It means that I'm mistaken, and I'm imagining in it, which would make my statements a lie. In a sense that doesn't make you calling me a liar. But that in itself just tells me that you're not really calling me a liar. I'm calling you out for the fact that delusion makes facts not facts.
That was beautiful, man. I appreciate that.
Hi, kitty.
I mean, it's probably the most stupidest expression I've ever said. But it was great, right? It made sense, and it was coherent, and it sounded great, because a lot of people use that exact statement to make everything perfect, and it isn't. It sounds just as stupid as it does. I mean, even if I try to make it perfect, it can't. It can't make fucking reality a delusion.
Sarah, I wanted to tell you that you have a beautiful singing voice.
No, I mean, she's beautiful.
I was going to say that earlier. I was going to say that.
I can't remember what actor did I tell you back in like what was it, like a year ago? I was telling you you look like somebody, and I still recognize you look like her.
I always look like somebody. I have the face.
I know,
that
so
can
do
be
I. I mean,
anybody.
I still don't think I look like freaking. My grandmother keeps thinking I look like Bruce Willis. Like, fuck, no, I don't.
No, you don't.
No, not at all. Exactly. It's like she's definitely got some really blurry vision.
That's funny. All right, final thoughts. Aaron, to you.
Well, I don't have many thoughts on this stream. This wasn't really a thought-provoking stream, but it was entertaining. And I am glad that a lot of the people who talk over people left eventually, because that was really obnoxious, because I am used to civil conversations where you speak and then make a coherent point, and then let the other person speak and make their coherent point, and then, continue in that sort of exchange. So I'm kind of glad that some of those people left eventually.
I agree.
And I agree with this point. Man, this stream did. I like your patience with people, and I've learned a lot from your streams, and you're so beautiful as I remember.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to see you being so successful, and thank you for letting me out.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a lot of work.
I know it is.
Ghosty, to you.
Good stream. Thanks for having me again. And final thoughts to any little girls out there, okay? If you want to be whatever you want to be, you can go do it no matter what these men say on this panel. If you work really hard and you're good at it, you have to be good at it, okay? But, you know, there are differences between the genders, and it might be a little harder for women to do certain things. But I still appreciate all the female firefighters, army people, police officers, and everything like that. So thank you to those people.
I agree. And to everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you so much. We had a nice crowd. We had a hilarious chat. We had a lot of great topics. I think I want to do this once a month. I think every month after I do the holiday special on Mod Monday, I'll probably follow up with a grab bag topic like this because I really like this. People came up with a lot of great topics, questions, talking points, so on and so forth. And the panel mitigated it and navigated through it very well. It was really...
I'll hang out next time. I'll hang out in the chat so I can just be observer.
Oh no, we like
Only
people on
unless
the
there's room for me on the panel. But you know, by that time, you're probably gonna have like 500,000 subscribers.
You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick.
Good luck. Good luck for me getting on the panel.
Well, if you join the Discord, my people in my Discord often get the StreamYard link before the general public.
Oh, that's gonna be easy. I can click on that one. All right, great.
So go to the
it's still when you got 500,000 people. Well, I mean, honestly, a recognizing face is probably easier to bring up on the panel than somebody that you don't know what they're doing.
I think no matter how big you get, you still have to appreciate those who showed up for you from the
But
get-go.
you still got to respect the new people too. So I understand that.
Well, yeah, of course, but I always look at it as like Uncle Guns, for instance, P. Fletch, Crackalakin. These are all of our mods, our main mods. They're always here, always showing up, always. They've been here since the beginning, you know, and it's, you know, and I'm not negating if anybody else for that matter, but what I'm saying is like somebody was arguing them earlier over a timeout, and I just say I stand behind whatever my wrenches say. Like they know the chat, they're paying attention, they see it. I respect them. They're veterans here. They rule the roost. End of story. I mean, I know that they all respect me enough. They're not just going to time people out for nothing either, right?
Exactly.
And no offense to that person who that happened to earlier. Like I get it, you're confused or whatever, but I still stand behind my wrenches. Now, if there's something I would need to talk to them about later, you know, whatever, if they needed to, you know, figure something out. It's Big Jake. Sorry, I didn't see you in the chat for a second there.
No, it's completely understandable. You know what? That's part of the hardest problem owning a YouTube channel, because I had a YouTube channel. I still have a YouTube channel, and it's still for me the same concept of who's your wrenches, who's trying to cause the drama, who is deleting people that don't need to be deleted, who's making anger on your channel. It is very hard determination. You got to trust the people you're putting in the charge of the wrenches. I completely agree. It is a hard task.
Yeah, I've had to remove wrenches before. Flow State knows all about this. He was one that he lost his wrench because he did something out of emotions, and he was mad because that person was disagreeing with him, and then he just timed him out for the day. And I said, okay, well, there's your wrench. That's gone.
And for that matter,
but he knows.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I mean, but you remember when I was on his stream, sometimes I got a belligerent at one time.
That first night I met you, you were like completely.
Yeah, I was so belligerent. I remember it. I remember the first time I met. I was literally like, "Oh, you're beautiful." I think I fell asleep. I mean, for real. And that was before you even had this great channel. And I was like, "What's your thing?" And it's like, "Why you keep hitting on my freaking channel members or my chat?" And I was like, "What's your like? Can you drop her a link? I need to find her." She was, because you came on his panel, and that's the only reason I found you was because of Flow State.
That's fair.
So, you know, honestly,
down,
I would have never known about you if it wasn't for Flow State. So I owe
everything
to
all
Flow
right,
State.
it is time to end. Everybody say "fuck off."
Hey, fuck off.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
And love.
If you thought this show sucked, well, you could have been watching something like this instead.
All right, I'm gonna get low with it, Michelle. I'm gonna get low there. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, people. Oh yeah.
Listen up, I got a tale to tell about a sexy tomato with a fury from hell. All the other folks.
She's not the best looking woman, but she's very into submission. Really into it, so is the husband, which I like. He likes there to sit there and watch her get dominated.
Mr. Shotgun! Not this gotta
She's got seeds of anger simmering inside. One wrong move and she'll take you for a ride. She'll throw shade with her skin so red. Her temper's like a flame burning through your head.
And swinger syndrome is people that think that they're
little sister, what's your Bible Shotgun away. Hey, little sister, who's so beautiful, man? Hey, little sister, shotgun.